be a sweaty one. Hello, YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are very well today. Yeah, we went to the dump at the weekend and chucked away all of our broken old fans. So we currently have no fans at all in the flat. I think there are some on order, but we currently have 0 fans in this flat. We have 0 methods of cooling ourselves down. So everyone is a little bit tetchy. It's half term, so the family are at home and we're already at each other's throats. So hope they don't hear this. What I find unfair, right, is they don't watch a bloody second of this stream. They've never watched a second of it because they find it mortifying and embarrassing, but they bloody listen to me through this door, and then when I come off the stream I get, oh, why did you mention that? Why did you say that? Why did you say that? I thought you cunts weren't interested in listening. God, you see, I'm tetchy already, just using this as an excuse to moan about my family. Hello, I hope you're all very well. What did I do over the weekend? Oh yeah, oh God, yes, I was quite cross. Yesterday, oh yes, that's what I've been doing. I've been playing. I've been living in the past yet more. I think directly because it is so incredibly hot. I've started replaying again The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, which is the one on the lovely breezy sea, the hot islandy one where you've got the ship and you use your baton to get the breeze blowing. Oh, that's good. To get a breeze blowing in a certain direction, and then you sail on the breeze on the sea with the wind streaming through your hat and your hair and diving in and pulling up gems. Oh, I'm enjoying that. That's a nice game, isn't it? That's a wholesome game. So yes, that's the modern. That's the modern. This being a speed run, yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, that's the modern gaming I'm playing at the moment. We're still watching Fallout. Oh, I tell you what, it's too unfocused. What it is about Fallout, this is what I'm finding quite confusing about watching it. Link swims to all the islands. Oh, it's nice. Just a game that makes you feel cool. No, it doesn't make you feel cool. I mean, cool. Yes. I'm watching Fallout. Problem with Fallout is I can't tell. My wife is constantly, is there any fresh water in Wind Waker? Oh, is there any fresh water? Yeah, there are like lakes and puddles, I think. Oh, there is fresh water because you can there's puddles where you can pick up water and then drink it, which you wouldn't be able to do with seawater. So yes there is. God, fresh water, that'd be nice. Fallout, my missus keeps on saying, right, so who are the New California Republic? Right, who are the Legion then? Okay, so why did this... yeah, watch the video. Oh man, this is my brain working at 30% capacity today. You're going to have to bear with me. There's going to be a lot of buffering. Yeah, I can't tell with Fallout because I know the games like really well. I see the New California Republic. I'm like, oh right, I know who they are. But I don't think the program really explains anything. The program just sort of throws all these factions and all these people at you, and I think it's kind of the expectation that you're meant to know who they are, and it means if you're watching it with someone the show but yeah, I'm finding myself kind of doing a lot of explaining about who different factions or what different technologies are, and I suspect the show sort of relies on people knowing a lot about it. Anyway, I'm not enjoying this second series. It's too complicated. Ditch a load of characters. The problem they've done that. Oh, the boomers in it. On about hello, yeah. Are the boomers in it? Oh, I suppose they are, aren't they? So that's going to be another bloody faction to worry about. Oh, brilliant. And now I've lost the thread of what I'm talking about. Tell you what I did. I'll get on with Kerbal in a minute. Don't worry. This isn't going to last long. Also, I put on Tomorrow Never Dies. The Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies was on ITV4. No, 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 no. Normally I can take the derailing. But, yeah, my brain is not holding any information at all. So, yes, it was on ITV4, Tomorrow Never Dies. And I was quite cross because I gathered the family around to say, look, this is the best bit. Here comes the best bit. And they cut it out. The best bit of the film of Tomorrow Never Dies, obviously being when Terry Hatcher's, not Terry Hatcher being dead, but when Bond's in his hotel room with dead Terry Hatcher and the guy from Ghost, get off my train! He's got his gun at Bond, and then he says, oh, Stamper, they want to know how to get into your car. I am to torture you if you don't tell me. Bond ends up electrocuting him, gets the guy on his knees, and he goes, please, I am only a professional doing a job. And then Bond says, so am I. And then, and it's one of the things I genuinely like about Pierce Brosnan's Bond. He's not afraid to just straight out execute someone. I like Pierce Brosnan's Bond because he makes you remember that he is a state-hired murderer. But yeah, they cut that whole bit out. They cut the whole, I'm just a professional doing a job, so am I, bang bit out, because I guess some forms of violence, I mean the amount of people who get killed in that film that are shown, but it's interesting how some forms of violence are acceptable and some aren't. Kind of a sort of hand shoots first thing. But anyway, so that's pretty much all the patter I've got. I don't know who Mr. Moore is, Cholera. My brain is not functioning. All I can think of is renowned and incredibly racist astronomer Patrick Moore. But I don't think you're talking about that. Roger Moore! Talking about James Bond, which Moore do we think of? There's a lovely documentary.
A woman.
A woman. There's a lovely documentary narrated by Steve Coogan as Roger Moore about his life. I don't know if it was that one, but that was really, really nice. I do recommend, by the way, the Live and Let Die diaries. It might even be on Spotify, if it was being done by a guy doing an impression of Roger Moore, that was probably Steve Coogan. Oh, possibly. But yes, there's the Live and Let Die diaries on. I think it's probably on Spotify. They're very good as well, although they are also read by someone doing an impression of Roger Moore. Yeah. I could go with, you know what I could go with this afternoon? Man with a Golden Gun. That's a hot film, isn't it? That's a film with a few swimming pools and a few beaches. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah. Maybe I could spend the afternoon on James Bond Island with Christopher Lee and Nick Nack. Yeah, I think I might. Thank you, Cholera. That's a good idea. What about a smoothie? Too much effort. Those Thai islands do look nice, don't they? It's actually officially, and fun fact, also in Tomorrow Never Dies. It's actually called James Bond Island. They just called it James Bond Island. And you go out there to have a look at Scaramanger's lair. God, that would be good. Yeah, Wind Waker and a bit of Man of the Golden Gun. That does sound like an afternoon. Right, well, thank you very much. It's been a really lovely stream. I hope you have a good... Right, I'm just going to get on with this game because my patter levels are dangerously low. My most bespoke cocktail. I'm a simple man of simple tastes. I'll go for a pina colada, thank you very much. And when I start feeling a bit sick on the fourth or fifth pina colada, I will probably skip to a mojito. I would say would be the two. I might go for a mojito now though because it's so hot. I have to be a good one though. Long Island iced tea, yeah. Yeah, right now it would be a mojito, but Yeah, pina coladas were our daiquiri and a mojito. Yeah, daiquiri would be nice. Pina coladas are what we drank gallons of for free in Las Vegas. When we went to Vegas, we took full advantage of the fact that you get, as long as you're gambling, you get given free drinks. So what we did was, and I recommend this if you ever go to Vegas and you want to have a good time and get drunk for relatively little money, just walk into a casino and go straight to the penny slots and just start putting 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent in until the waitress comes over with a slightly sarcastic expression, asks you what you want. In our case, this is quite a while ago, also asking us for our passport and ID quite a bit. They got a tip. They got a $4 tip for each drink. But yes, as long as you're putting money into the machines, you get free booze. So we had a few days of just doing essentially a pub crawl, but with along the Las Vegas Strip, of just going into each casino and getting a free drink from each one, and keeping the little coupons that you get from the penny slot machines. That was good. That was good. Yeah, I'd do that again. Right, should we get on with Kerbal Space Program? So, by the way, I saw that there's an update for Crusader Kings III. Oh, hang on. I'll take that deal or no deal thing off. It's a nice idea, but I just don't think I've got the energy to deal with Noel Edmonds today. Is the water consumption of Sin City as vast as? Oh, I expect so. Mind you, we went on New Year's Eve many years ago. Got to be about it would be about 11 years ago now. What I do remember, say Sin City, what I do remember is as we were heading out, literally it was like 1:45 on New Year's Eve. It's cold weather TV, it is. We were walking down to the Strip just to be in the crowd for woo time. And there were evangelical Christians out and about handing out Christian leaflets about temperance and repenting your sins and being a good Christian, which is dedication on 1:45 on New Year's Eve. And you really think you're going to get some conversions. We had a guy in front of us, the most American man ever. He had one of those hats, Homer Simpson hats with giant beer coolers and straws going into his mouth in front of us. And upon being handed some repent ye sinner literature by a Christian, he just went, "This is Sin City, man! Woo!" And you know what? He made a good point. I thought, good point, well made. Fair enough. You know, knock it on the head just for one night anyway. That's my main memory of course, we were supposed to be out with my friend that night, but my friend had food poisoning from a bad Chinese restaurant, so we spent 3 hours in his room watching a marathon of To Catch a Predator, which was the show where, I mean, you know what To Catch a Predator is. It's where they would entice paedophiles into a special house surrounded by police, and lure them in with a grown adult who looked 12, and then lure them in and then get them to get undressed and then run in with the cameras and then ask them what they're doing, and then when they run away they get tased by the police. One of the most morally unjustifiable programs ever made, but addictive. Once you've seen one episode and you see that it's on all night, it's quite hard to turn over. So that was our New Year's Eve in Las Vegas. 3 hours of To Catch a Predator, and then some good old-fashioned Christian judgment. Oh, here, you throw this away. So yeah, I saw that there's a new. Not DLC. There's a new update for Crusader Kings, and I thought, oh good, I can go back to Crusader Kings. Oh, I'll tell you what I need to do. Maybe I could do this. I was thinking about digging. No, I won't do it now. But I was thinking about digging up my old game, the one that I abandoned, and just literally just giving away every kingdom because Pope. God, how quickly we forget. I want to call him Pope Limmy. Pope Quackers III had like 100 different kingdoms. I was thinking, if I actually just go through and give all the kingdoms away, would the game go back to running at a normal speed? So I might, not now, but in my free time, I might try doing that just to see, because I am aware that CK3 is unfinished business. Is the window open? The window is open. Oh my God. So anyway, but yeah, I am pining for it, and I don't know how much longer. I'm going to play Kerbal Space Program for the rest of the week, but towards the end of the week I'm going to assess how I'm feeling about it, and then maybe switch to something else. I don't know. I'm just flying up the flagpole at the moment. But we have got plenty of things to do today. So today we are going to investigate the mohole. We've got a bit of a situation. So we are playing career mode. We're playing career mode moderately faithfully. We've got a limited tech tree. Where's our tech tree? Here we go. We've got a limited tech tree. There you go. We're about halfway through, but we've still got a lot more. We've got a lot more technology still to research, not least one of the most. Microsoft levied a recommendation 32 gig of RAM. I'd say that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't say it's fine because obviously RAM is so incredibly rare and expensive at the moment, but 16 gig has been like the basic standard for at least 10 years, so it feels about right. I don't know, when I was buying computers for animation about 10 years ago, 16 gig was the 8 is too little, so it's been like that. So I mean, under normal I would say like under normal economic circumstances would be well beyond that by now anyway, but obviously tech specs have flattened because all the tech has been swiped by our data center overlords. So like Subnautica 2 still runs on fairly old machines. In a way, it's been really, really good, this kind of tech crisis, because it has slowed down the pace at which PCs were getting more and more powerful. Back in the day, when I wore an onion on my belt at a time, I was thinking this the other day, a 4-year-old PC would basically not be able to run a modern game. Yes, China have seen a gap in the market. Communism and capitalism fused together does seem to be very profitable indeed, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm sure back in the day, a 4-year-old, 5-year-old PC, like, I mean, this might well be getting on to being 6 years old. You could forget it. You could forget it running anything. I remember, what was the game around the noughties? Almost no one played it, but he had a cloak. The main character had a cloak that billowed like cloth. And you literally, I remember at the time, you had to buy a brand new video card to run the game, or you could forget it. And that was just kind of accepted, that you just kept on buying. I haven't felt a need to buy. I'm just whittering on and on and on about technology. You know what? I'm boring myself, and I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to carry on talking about Kerbal Space Program. Terrible stream, absolutely terrible stream so far. Come on, pick it up. So the most important technology, Age of Wonders 4 and by Paradox. Yes. But yeah, I'm not surprised by them saying it's got to be 32 gig. It's just good luck buying 32 gig of RAM for a price that's not absolutely insane. As I say, or as Ben says, the Chinese are about to flood the market with RAM, so hold on another 6 months and then maybe that'll be possible. I mean, as I say, I've looked into upgrading. Hang on, let me just share the specs of the machine so you know what you're looking at. I have looked into upgrading this machine. The CPU is the bottleneck, apparently. Not much for bottleneck, but a bit of a one. But yeah, I looked at it. If I spent £500, this computer would get a 10% boost in performance. And I think it still sticks, because it's a little. The 3060 is a bit old, but it's. Where am I going to get a video card at the moment? That the video card isn't the bottleneck. The processor's the bottleneck. So if I were to buy a new video card for some reason, I would have to buy a processor as well. So you're talking well over like £1,200. And that would get me like a 15 to 20% performance boost. If I'm going to spend essentially a computer's amount of money, I want the thing to be double. Again, onion on my belt at the time. Back in the day, back in the 90s or whatever, when you bought a new computer, it would be twice, if not three times, as powerful as the previous one, because that was the whole point of getting a new computer. Yes, the bang for your buck you get for upgrading computers these days in this economy is not worth it. So, and the 3060, it runs Crusader. I mean, I don't. Apart from the problems with it runs Crusader Kings on ultra high. This runs Microsoft Flight Simulator on whatever it is, the one underneath the top's a high rather than ultra. I've got really no problems with my computer. I think this computer's still more powerful than a PS5 Pro. So, I just don't see the financial incentive to upgrade, unless of course it melts in this hot weather, which may well happen. Unlikely with this game, however, because this game is well over 10 years old. Okay, right, so research. We have to, do I just have it hanging, just hanging out the back of it? No, it's in a box. It's in a box by my legs. Although now you've mentioned it, the side is off the box at the moment, but there we go. We need to research nuclear propulsion. Nuclear propulsion is a game changer in Kerbal Space Program because, as you have seen, 10% better than the price difference is only 200. Certainly if my PS5 broke, I'd get a PS5 Pro to replace it, but hopefully that won't happen. So, what's going on in this game? We've got our scientists. So, we are harvesting science. Our career is all about grabbing that sweet, sweet science to unlock our tech tree. We've currently got 3 scientists. Lisby, baby murderer Lisby Kerman, Sigbro Kerman and Rawin Kerman. They are currently on the night side, obviously. Hang on, let's speed up time so that we can actually see what's going on. No, can we not? Okay, you can't see it because it's night. Fascinating. They are currently orbiting the planet Moho, which is the Mercury equivalent. It is the closest planet to the sun, and as we found out in the last stream, a real sod to get to. It required a huge amount of delta V to get there, not just because it's an inner planet, and getting to the inner planets requires a lot more oomph than getting to an outer planet. Because you have to cancel out the velocity of your own of your home planet in order to go into the solar system. I think I'm right in saying that might well be why. What was when they go to Venus, when they send a probe to Venus, I think they often slingshot around Jupiter. I think if you time it right, you expend a lot less fuel sending a probe out to Jupiter and then using Jupiter's slingshot to send you back into the system. This is in real life. Like I say, going inwards does cost a lot more delta V, and so we've been building these very, very complicated and frankly expensive spaceships, of which this is the latest one. And this was supposed to be a return ship, but as you can see, or hopefully you can see, I am trying to get to the day side of this planet, by the way. As you can see, this ship is not anywhere near. This is barely going to get us out of the system, if we indeed can. Hello, SandScan Pro from YouTube. How are you today? Very, very good to see you. I hope you're excellent. So yes, these ain't coming back without a lift. So ultimately, we are going to have to build a spaceship that launches from Kerbal and can rescue our scientists who are trapped at Moho. Now, the scientists still have work to do. They have to investigate the Mohole. The Mohole, which is what we're going to be doing today. The Mohole Half-Life has a lambda in its name. Yeah, in the original Half-Life, you have to get to the lambda facility. So in the original Half-Life, you know which way to go because there's a sprayed lambda on the wall. I think that's in Half-Life 2 as well. I've been playing Half-Life 2 fairly recently, sort of marvelling at it. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be investigating the Mohole. What's the Mohole? The Mohole is a glitch in the geometry of. Here we go. Is a glitch in the geometry of the planet. Focus view. There we go. Why can I not zoom into the planet more than I can? Anyway, it's a glitch in the geometry. It's right at the North Pole, and it's where the texture and the height of the planet hasn't. It's like a baby's fontanelle. It's where the texture. There's a moon hole in KSP2. Oh, lovely. Oh, poor KSP2. Oh, with the angels now. It's where the geometry hasn't knitted together. There's a glitch in the scenery, which they have made an official feature, and it's got its own science and everything. And apparently, it is very, very difficult to land there, and it's going to be a tricky mission. But we'll get our scientists in there. We'll land there. We'll get our readings. We'll get back into orbit, and then we will launch a rescue mission. So that is what we are doing first. What's a bit weird? Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. That's better. Okay. So, where are we? Moho apoapsis. So the Mohole, I wonder where it is. I think that's it. I think that's it there. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, in fact, is this... Oh, this is us now. We're just about to go over the North Pole. So, here's where the Mohole is. Here is where we currently are. In fact, if we were very lucky, we might just be able to see it. Now, you can see how rough the terrain is here. It's going to be much more difficult to land here than it is on the moon, although I think I'm right in saying that Moho has less gravity than the moon, although don't quote me on that. I might be mixing it up with Mercury. Is Mercury smaller than the moon? I want to say Mercury is smaller than the moon. There's no way of finding out. So what we're going to need to do is we're in quite a good polar orbit. So this is our... Yeah, here we go. Here's our Mohole here. We're in quite a good polar orbit, but it could be better. So what we want to do is, if this is 12 o'clock, we want to do a new manoeuvre at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock in order to change the inclination of the orbit. So if I put a manoeuvre node down here at the 3 o'clock of our orbit, you don't reckon Mercury is smaller than the Moon? Well, sadly, no one will ever know. Just have to remain one of those mysteries. You just burn anti-normal or normal and land there, and boom, you've reached the Mo hole. Well, here we go. So, hang on. Oh, great, I've lost it. Oh, there it is. Great. So if I adjust, here we go. If I adjust this, there we go. That. Oh, that's a nice periapsis, sir. That should do it. That should adjust our orbit so we fly directly over the Mo hole at our next periapsis, and then we can land there. So, Jeb, mate, how you doing, by the way? Okay, nice view of space. Are you in the capsule by yourself, Jeb? Mercury is larger than the Moon. 4,880 kilometres. The Moon is only 3,000. Wow, so the Moon is a third smaller, or a quarter, or is it 25? I'm going to say, I'm just going to say it's 25 to 35% smaller than the Moon, bigger than the Moon. Christ, it's hot. God, it's so hot. How will we return Jeb? That, SandScan Pro, is the question. So, we need to develop nuclear engines because, frankly, it's not going to be possible for me to... Well, it is possible, but it's just going to be comically ridiculous for me to build a conventional rocket to help return them when a conventional rocket got them into this position in the first place. So... Tripang 2. I find first-person perspective games very difficult to stream or to make interesting, because I'm not good enough at them for people to watch and go, man, he's got skills. But also, there's not quite enough patter in there to kind of, I don't know. I think I'd find it very difficult to make a first-person game interesting. Oh, you think you're making this interesting, do you? Right, so let's get to this node. So, Jeb, you're in the capsule by yourself, and these are our scientists all huffing each other's farts. Okay, let's get them out and into their spacesuits as quick as we can. You're very excited to enter the Mo hole and escape Sun's gravity. I will be quick saving before sending them deep into the hole. So what we need is nuclear engines. Now, what I'm thinking is we go into the Mo hole, we get our science, and then maybe transmit. We've got to get 200 science points in order to research nuclear engines. We've got 100 at the moment. We need 300. So I'm thinking, get these scientists landing on Moho, which we can see now that we're on the day side. Get as much. Just did the washing up, and I think I'm dying. This heat is awful. It really is, isn't it? It's very, very British. I mean, what it is the sunshine. Love the sunshine. The sunshine lifts me so much as an official medically miserable sod. Just going out in the sunshine and feeling those photons soak into my skin. It's almost like liquid happiness going into me. Pardon. Oh, have I got this? Is this listening to me? Right. Oh, I don't think. Hang on. Right.
Right.
Good. Starmer's Britain. I love photons. I'm a big fan of medium energy photons going into my flesh. I'm a big fan of vitamin D. It's the heat, isn't it? If it was 19 degrees of a cool breeze and this level of sunshine, perfect. But sadly, that's not the way the weather works. Luckily, I'm hearing from a lot of credible sources that climate change is a big hoax. So that's good news, isn't it? That's good news. Can't wait for the ice age the oil companies have been promising us since the 70s. Can't come soon enough, if you ask me. Yeah, right to the king. What have I done? What have I done?
You do think, Christ,
Hey.
what have I done?
What have
Come
I
on.
And
done?
I'm being honest about it. And Russ thinks the same. You think, at times, you think, Christ, what have I done?
Brilliant. She works. Excellent. Good. She may come in useful later. Okay, so we've got 6 minutes until we get to the node, and then we can do our orbit. Should we just burn? Right, 16 seconds. Let's fast forward time and let's get our orbit altered. Okay, here we go. So burn time 16 seconds. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignite. Okay, let's just have a quick look at this orbit. So we're looking for this blue to become orange. Try and keep my nose pointed at the target. Done it. Okay. So, one little quick save later. Here we are. We are due to hover above the mohole at our periapsis. Okay, so what we're going to do now is separate from the mothership. We need to land this bloody thing. Oh, actually, Rawin, could you do me a favour? We've got a load of science. Yeah. Could you just let go? You're on a time limit here, Rawin, so hurry up. Thank you. You all right? Oh, yeah, she's absolutely fine. Is she a she? Yeah, she's a she. Yeah, she's absolutely fine. Good. Sorry, you were just taking your time. Yeah, we are on a time limit here, Rawin. We've got to make a circuit of the planet and then we'll be back. Could you please get the science that we've gathered so far? Because we're going to need to reset these experiments because we're going to be taking a lot more science in a moment. So if you could... That's it. Collect the data. Yep. And then restore. Thank you. Do we have other... Where's the rest of our science? Hang on. Sorry, you just drift away gently. I'll probably not forget about you. Where's the rest of our science gone? This is the problem. I built this spaceship on... I built it last week and now I've forgotten where I put all the bits. What have I done?
You do think, Christ, what have I done?
You do think
And
that?
I'm being honest about it.
I know you are.
And Russ thinks the same. You think, at times, you think, Christ, what have I done?
Oh, here they are. Found them. They're just here. Okay. Lovely. A whole bag of ice. Our corner shop sells bags of ice. And you know what? You've given me an idea. Good time of the year to be Ian Magnum, isn't it? Ian Magnum is doing brisk business. I had just a plain, normal flavoured Ian Magnum yesterday. I'm not sure I've ever actually achieved that level of happiness before in my life. God, I wish this stream was sponsored by Ian Magnum. Okay, let's take this data. Okay, lovely. Right, that's that data taken, and then we can collect the data from the goo. Yeah, remove the data, then restore the canister. Great. Right, that is the scientific data that we've already collected, captured. So, Rawin, if you could just get back into the ship now. That's it. You get yourself in. Lovely. Moho looks like the moon, but it's brown. Yeah, I mean, Mercury looks like the arm. Oh yeah, look at it. It's brown, isn't it? Nice, nice crater. That crater looks like a lot of fun. Okay, so. Oh yes, we were going to disconnect from the mothership, weren't we? Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, sorry, I've just remembered how my ship works. Okay, so guys, are we ready to disconnect? Yes, I think we are. All right, let's disconnect in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this was going to be the mothership that was going to take us all the way back to Kerbin. That's not going to happen. You can forget about that. But we might, when we take back off from Moho again, we may very well reconnect with this in orbit to see, well, I'm quite curious to see how far it can get us. I think what we're going to ultimately do when we finish this landing is get ourselves into as wide an orbit, as big an orbit as possible around Moho, and then send a rescue ship from Kerbin. But here we are. Here is our landing craft. Here's our brand new engines ready for landing. It is very, very tall. But hopefully it won't be too... Well, it's just going to be really difficult to land this. But we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Okay, let's go all the way around Moho and prepare to land. Here we go. All right. So here's our ship. You can actually see very clearly how our orbit has deviated after that last burn. This is the satellite that we left in a semi-polar orbit. That's there just so that in the future we can have a good old look at Moho, just to leave a little souvenir behind. And here's our new ship. And at the periapsis will be our Mohole. So we're going to go all the way around the planet. We're going to go, there we go, over the night equator. And here we come. It's going to be difficult to see, isn't it? Because it's going to be sort of... It's going to be halfway shrouded in darkness. Right, here we are. Right, where's this Mohole? The Mohole is... I think here. So let's... There it is. I think that's it. I think. So let's go retrograde. We're currently at 800. So let's fire... I think that is it, you know. Let's fire our retro engines and land. Fire? Fire. Okay, brilliant. Here we are. Yeah, that looks like a Mohole to me. All right. So we're doing 450 metres per second, 400 metres per second, 300 metres per second. Our fuel is looking worryingly low. 200 metres per second, 100 metres per second. We've used up... Oh, no. I have doubts that I'm even going to be able to get off Moho, you know. What I should do, what I've just considered... what I've considered is... Do I leave this landing until The rescue ship's arrived. No. I think we're committed to the bit now, aren't we? I think aborting the landing at this point and reloading would be cowardice. One way or the other, these Kerbals are on their way to the mohole. Okay, on our way down, let's take a crew report. All right, let's take a crew report using a different pod. How about that? What about a crew report from you lot? In space near Moho. Oh, we can transmit that for 100% science value. That is good news. Can you do an EVA report here? We can transmit that as well. Okay, wonderful. Rescue ship drops fuel for it to get up, then they transfer to the rescue ship. No. The only way to get fuel back onto this, and I really do think we're not going to be able to do it, you know. The only way to get fuel onto this is to dock with it. But docking on the surface to this ship is nigh on impossible. It's very, 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 very difficult to get ships to dock with each other when they're on the surface, when they're designed for that purpose. Never mind shoved together in a vague panic like this one is. No, this is going to have to be... Well, they're going to land, but I don't think they're going to be taking off again. The rescue ship will have to do a precision landing here and take them back. Our Moho rescue ship is going to have to be incredible. Okay. We're really putting all the pressure on here. Anyway, down we come. Let's activate our landing gear anyway, since we're committed to the bit. There we go. So we're on our way down. There we go. We can see the Mohole here. It's right here, and we are heading towards it. They might have done. I mean, well, we all know the tragedy of KSP2. Okay, so surface. Have I got a thing here? Oh, hang on. We need this, don't we? All right. Oh, it's still 13,000 feet. So here's our altimeter ticking down. You can see the Mohole is becoming more hole-like. I'm getting a bit worried. What have I done? I'm getting a bit worried that we're going far too fast. 9,000 feet. Good luck with... Have better luck than I have. 8,000 feet. 7,000 feet. Okay, we really do need to stop this rot. Oh, we haven't even got enough bloody fuel. We've barely got enough fuel to land safely, never mind taking off. When I say barely, I'm not joking. What have I done?
You do think, Christ, what have I done?
I do think
And
that.
I'm being honest about it.
I'm being honest.
And Wes thinks the same. You think, at times, you think, Christ, what have I done?
Okay, so we've only got 206. Oh, we've only got 206. Can you see the Mohole? Here it is. We've only got 180. We are going to run out of fuel about the same time as we hit the ground. And we're not even landing on flat ground either. Here we go. We really... This is our last ounce of fuel. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Touchdown gently, gently, gently. Oh, ho, ho. Wow. Okay. There we go. So... Positive news. Jeb, Bob, Rawin, Sigbro and Liz... Oh. Well. Okay. Normally that would be a cause for possibly reloading. as it is, let's face it, this ship's not going anywhere, is it? So let's leave the ship to rest in peace right where it is. We've landed, like Neil Armstrong, we've landed with only seconds of fuel left to spare. Unlike Neil Armstrong, we haven't got any fuel to take off again. So they are now officially trapped on Moho. Okay, well, Rawin, you're first on my list. Do you fancy doing the honours? Here we go. And Rawin, the very first Kerbal to set foot... Oh, all right, okay, Rawin, you're supposed to build that up a bit more. You're supposed to do the whole kind of, I'm going to take my feet off the ladder. You're supposed to say some sort of... No, just having a wander and a bit of a laugh. There we go. Well, Rawin's having a good time. Rawin. Right, Rawin. Do you fancy doing the honours? Could you lay us a flag, please? Here we go. Our new home, the planet Moho. God, you can just smell the sovereignty coming off that flag, can't you? Rawin's Moho disaster. Yep.
Should never have put me with up with that woman. Whose idea was that?
I don't know, I didn't see.
That's Sue, I think.
Yeah.
They're just ridiculous.
Christ, what have I done? Right, Rawin's Moho disaster. Christ, what have I done? There we go. So Rawin is out. Where's the mohole then? Is it over here? And can I, if I speed up time, can we get the sun overhead? I'm not sure we can get the sun. Oh, look, you can see the mohole. There you go. If I clip through the scenery, I don't know if you can see that. Should I up the gamma? I'm thinking I'm gonna up the gamma on this picture because you're just looking at darkness. Let me just adjust this for you because this is going to be... That's not too bad, is it? Should we get it up a bit more? There we go. All right. Hey, that's not too bad. I might actually have to... I might look at my stream to see where I'm going because you've now got a much, much better view of it than I have. Okay, so you're now on night vision mode. I'm still wandering around in the darkness. Okay, so Rawin, could you just do me an EVA report? From Moho's North Pole, it's getting very hot in here. Okay, you transmit that and you take a surface sample as well. 300 science for a surface sample from Moho's North Pole. That's fantastic. Well done, Rawin. Okay, so let's go back to the ship. Let's take our Science Junior experiment. That's another 250 science. Rawin, again, could you just grab that data for us, mate? Because we'll be needing to send that back to Kerbin. Collect the data, yep, and then restore it, yep. If you could also find me... Where are our other instruments? Oh, don't tell me it's rolled on top of the other instruments. Oh, no, they're over here, aren't they? That's right. I remember. Has it rolled on top of its own scientific instruments? No, it's fine. Okay, so we've got our observe our mystery goo. That's another 100 science. So we're absolutely packed full of science here. Log temperature, 80, and log barometer, 120. Okay, plenty of science got from here. Right, let's get the rest of the guys out, shall we? Sigbro, you try and get down with a bit more dignity than the previous guy. There we go. That's good. Shame that his first footprint on this alien world was just treading on broken bits of the craft that have already been here, but that's pretty good. And Lisby. Is it Lisby next? Yeah, Lisby. If you could also let go. Try and descend with some. The world is watching. Here we go. So here we are. Here are our three scientists. Lisby, Sigbro, and Rawin. Landed and stranded on a distant alien world, but nonetheless, I'm sure having a great time. So the question is, you three, who's actually going to go into the mohole? Innocent Lisby. Who's actually going to go in and take those measurements? Well, it can only be one. Someone who possibly needs a bit of a redemption arc. Someone who could, I mean, not with the Guardian newspaper, obviously, but someone who could do with a bit of positive PR back at home. That would, of course, be the brave and innocent Lisby Kerman. Look, those little baby Kerbins, when they gang up on you, they are like piranha. Okay, Lisby, could you make your name in history and go and enter the mohole? Let's activate. Hang on. Let's just quick save. Let's activate your jetpack. Oh, just the jetpack. Oh, the jetpack doesn't work. What? The jetpack doesn't work on Moho. Oh. How the hell is she going to get out of the mohole then? If she can't jetpack her way out of there. Oh, that's interesting. So she can have a kind of a sort of jetpack assisted jump thing going on. Okay. So you can see, I think you can see better than I can. Oh, Christ. Oh, I think this is how she's going to go into the mohole. Lisby. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Yeah, this isn't how I imagined it. Okay. Have you settled down? You're all right. You're okay? You're okay. Right. Where are we going? We're going this way, aren't we? Are we? Is that it there? Oh, seriously, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the stream now to I'm looking at the stream. Oh, that's it there, isn't it? Just there. That's where we're going. All right. Come on then. It's quite a way away. Maybe some sort of vehicle type rover device would have been a good idea. Okay. I cannot see a thing. She's already quite far away from her ship, isn't she? Oh, hang on. Is she about to... Oof! I mean, I know she's had her controversies, but that seemed a bit much. Are we lost, Lisby? Have we lost the mohole? Bet we have. I'm wondering. Wandering off like Herzog's penguin. That's exactly what I was thinking of. That's exactly what I was thinking of. I've lost the mohole. There's Lisby. Oh, she's really close to it. Okay, we can see the moho hole there, and she's there. Okay. So if I switch to Lisby, yes, let's use the geometry. Let's use the. So it's not that way. It must be. It's that way. Is it towards the sun? I think it might be towards the sun. Okay. She really is like Herzog's penguin, isn't she? Okay. So I'm now looking at my own stream because you've got a much better view of what's going on than I have. I'm still doing this in darkness. I cannot see a bloody thing. Maybe if I speed up time. Wallop. There she goes. There goes another unpleasant landing. Maybe if I speed up time, the sun will come out. We are at the North Pole, so I'm not that hopeful. Here we go. Time warp. No, if anything, it got worse. Yeah, you can see because we're at the North Pole. Oh, look, there it is. Because we're at the North Pole. Oh, hello. What's that? Is that a bit of sunlight coming here? All right. Lisby, how long have you been lying there? It looks like you've been lying there a while. Get up. Come on. I think it's this way. The quest for the mohole. I might have to give Lisby a little bit of divine intervention here and replenish her jetpack fuel. Hey, this is looking promising. Have we found the mohole? Well, this is certainly a ridge going somewhere. Here we go. Let's try and bring her... Ah, this feels dangerous. This feels like looming disaster.
That was a disaster. Should never have put me with that woman.
Wallop!
Whose idea was that?
I don't know, I didn't see.
It was Sue, I think.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
So she's just now falling head over heels in an uncontrolled clatter, closer and closer to the edge. Here we go. All right. Come on, Lisby. If you walk the rest of the way, or at least jump. Yeah, this is it. We're here. This is officially the edge of the mohole. Right, Lisby, I'm going to need you. Oh, man. This is one inhospitable planet. Come on. There we go. Right, let's get you to the edge. Here we are. Let's get you to the edge and let's have a good old look inside, shall we? Mm-hmm. And over she goes. Is she going to go over? Yep, down she goes. Here we go. She is now officially, Lisby Kerman is now officially falling into the mohole. Into the broken geometry of moho. Oh, she's all right. She's okay. She's managed to pick herself up. Let's see if we can hover over it. Here we go. Here we are. And look down, look down, look down. Oh my God. There it is. The mohole. All right, Lisby. You know where you're going. Let's send her down. Okay, so the camera's rotating because we're right at the North Pole. So the camera doesn't know exactly what it's doing. It doesn't know which way to face. And Lisby is descending. There we go. We can see. Oh, I think she's about to hit the side, actually. Are you? Oh, God, that looked like it hurt. Sorry about that. But here we go. Down, down, down. She's still descending. She's descending essentially. Here we go. She's essentially descending into the core of the planet. You're doing all right. I'm looking forward to your all the science you're going to get out of this. Yeah, she's falling at quite a speed now. She might die. Yeah, I think she's about to splatter herself on the walls. Yeah, this seems like an... Yeah, that's her dead. That's Lisby dead. But did she get any data? No. No, she forgot. R.I.P. Okay. EVA report. Bit late now. Bit late now. So how far... Oh, she got quite far down. You can see that the mohole, it sharpens to a point at this point. So she got quite a long way down before dying. I'm just going to reload, but I'm not necessarily... Catastrophic failure. Flight results. Catastrophic failure. Lisby Kerman from Mo's Hole 1 went on EVA. Lisby Kerman was killed. That'll happen. Let me just quickly reload. Let's see if we can get her on the edge somehow and then take an EVA report. So here she is going back in. Back at the surface. Let's see if we can mitigate the gravity. No, maybe not actually. Lisby, see if you can get to the side. If you can hit the side with... Oh. Oh. If you get to the bottom, what can you jump off to activate the jetpack? Well, this is the thing. I'm wondering, could she even get out of the mohole by herself? Or would we have to send a specific mohole probe down to bring her back? You need to drop on the middle or you will crash. So I want to avoid hitting the side as much as possible. Okay. We do appear to be... Hang on. Yeah, this jetpack is not... We're about to run out of propellant. I'll tell you what I am going to do, and you'll have to forgive me for this. I'm just going to put infinite propellant on because she's running out of fuel on her jetpack. And quite frankly, I ain't spending any time on it.
But I ain't spending any time on it.
we'll just say that she's been given an extra large fuel canister for her jetpack. Okay, so this feels like quite a nice controlled descent into the mohole where our surface speed is going down. Here we go. Oh God, it is still. Oh, good. She's tumbling, but it has her hitting that outcrop did slow her down. Hitting the side as she. Whoop! There we go. See, it's good. She's hitting the sides as she goes down. Incredibly painful, but it is causing some much needed friction. Yep, she's still going down. I am hitting the jetpack as hard as I can. Here we go. Are we at the bottom? We are. There we go. Lisby Kerman is the first and probably only Kerbal to get herself, press RCS 2 times, there we go, to get herself trapped in quite a surreal situation. She is now, there we go, she is now trapped in the in the mohole. At the North Pole of Mohole, there he is. That is now Lisby Kerman's existence, squeezed in a vice-like triangle of darkness, well away from any hope of rescue. Could you give us an EVA report from where you are, please? It's getting very hot here in Moho's South Pole. Interesting. So the bottom of the mohole counts as the South Pole. Interesting. Could you transmit that data, please? That's fantastic. No usable comms devices cannot transmit the data. All right. And what about a surface sample? Surface sample from the South Pole. The ground is made up of old lava flows, suggesting periods of intense volcanic activity. Brilliant. That's fantastic, Lisby. Thank you. What about planting a flag? Is that possible? No. All right, okay. No flags to deploy. Okay. Well, there she is. Whether or not we leave her there, well, there's not really much point us leaving her there because she's got the scientific data that we require. I'm just going to take a quick picture of her for posterity. There we go. Now, can she get out, or are we going to have to send something in after her? That's interesting. So the mohole is only about 6 kilometres deep. We can see that because the other Kerbals are 6 kilometres away. So it's not insurmountable. Right. Lisby, can you get out of this situation? Let's try. Let's activate your RCS. And jump. No. Ah, there we go. Okay, well, that's even more surreal now, isn't it, Lisby? Her head is currently poking into... Oh, man. This is existentially troubling, isn't it? Come on, you can get out. Come on, help us get that trunk out. It's pretty bleak. Climb. Yeah, climb. Whoa. Come on, Lisby. I believe in you. That's it. Walk your way out. That's it. And jump. Yeah, she is trapped. Oh, man. This is just upsetting. It's just watching suffering. Has she broken her back? Come on, Lisby. You've been where no Kerbal has been before. Come on. No, she's having a tough time. Like being held in the arms of the Kraken. Who would have thought that jumping heedlessly down a vast chasm on a planet millions of miles from home and, crucially, 6 kilometres away from any help was a bad idea. Oh, here we go. Climb. Climb, Lisby, climb. No, don't fall, don't fall. Oh, God. Ah, her situation has not improved. Lisby. 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 Oh. Good luck, adios. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with the vet, by the way. I hope your pet is well. I hope it's just routine. I think she could do this, theoretically. The question is it worth it for the content, or do we just leave her stuck in the mohole for the rest of her life and just rescue the others? There's no question of going back, I think. I think I'd be doing the stream a disservice if I were to just reload to a point before Lisby got into the hole. Lisby's in the hole now, and this is a situation we're going to have to deal with. Yeah, oh my God, Moho's full of stars. You know, if you ever read the book of 2001, it did not make a lot more sense than the bloody film, which I didn't expect. Oh, so it's a Stargate. I think Lisby is just going to have to become a permanent resident. Unless there's a way of extracting her using technology, which I'm really not sure there is. I've only read the book and the first film. I've never seen the other films. I think that isn't 2010. Isn't that supposed to be sort of all right? She can plant a flag. Well, that's something. At least she can own the mohole. That's a mohole. Oh, she's planting a pretend flag. Okay, I think the madness might be setting in. Is it okay? Yeah, that's what I've heard about 2010. She's not even moving now. I think we might have to accept that she's stuck here forever. She's not even moving. Hang on, I think I know what's happened. I think it's because I tried to deploy a flag. I think the game's now stuck. Yeah, I think it's now stuck because it's trying to, it's waiting for me to, oh, balls. I think I might actually have to reload. That's annoying. Lisby, you might have a chance here, you know. You might have a chance here because I can't even get back to Lisby, Starchild. You might have a hope. I cannot even switch away from her. The game has just broken because I tried to deploy a flag inside the mohole. Just makes you feel so insignificant, doesn't it? There we go. Oh, look at that. Woohoo! There we go. There's your surreal imagery of the day. All right, okay. So you're telling me there's escape's not working? No, nothing's working. Okay. All right. Oh, actually, you say nothing's working. Does that mean I can't even quick save? No, the whole thing's crashed. Fantastic. Hang on. Alt-Tab. All right, time for a reload. Interesting. Okay. Let's close Kerbal Space Program and reopen it. Well, that's the mohole. What I'm a bit worried about is how are we going to get scientific data from the mohole if going into the mohole is certain doom? Let's see where we were. A second chance for Lisby. Let's have a look. Was it all just a terrible dream?
That was a disaster. Should never have put me with that woman. Whose idea was that?
Lisby, I think.
Sue, I think.
Yeah, it probably was Sue.
It was just ridiculous.
All I know is my gut says maybe.
That's exactly what I think of. That's my assessment of Lisby's chances here. So when did we last quick save her? We quick saved her on her way down, didn't we? So shall we see if we can get her to stick? I think what I might try and do, see if I can get Lisby to stick to the side of the hole, take her samples and then go out. I think going right down to the very, very depths of the mohole is fatal. She's just going to get trapped in the triangle of sadness and not be able to escape. So here we go. Let's reload. Here she is. Right, we're back. We are back, hovering above the hole. Full power, Lisby. For God's sake.
Okay, let's off-road.
Let's get you. So what we're doing now is I'm just hitting the jetpack as hard as I can. Full power jetpack as she drifts slowly towards the wall. Hang on, can we try and kill the lateral motion as much as we can? That's it. That's it. Come on. If she tumbles, don't tumble, Lisby. Please don't tumble. Okay, that's quite good. We're still going down. The question is, can the jetpack counter the gravity? Our surface is going down. Our surface velocity, is creeping down, which would suggest there is a... oh, she's out of fuel. Shit. Hang on. Let me just give her a little bit of help. There we go. Congratulations, Lisby. You got one of those new... No. Shit. No, she's going to fall right down into the mohole again, isn't she? Hang on. Let's reload. We'll get her out. We'll get her out. Let's reload. And this time, let's reload. Let's reload. Let's load up her jetpack. Yep, we've done that. Okay, good. So here she comes, spinning around. I'm going to try and reduce this as much as possible. Get this surface meter per second reading as low as possible. At this point, she's not that far from the surface, but we are still very, very slowly heading downwards. All right. Remember the fuel early. It's okay. I've activated Lisby's special infinite jetpack. I've given her that. Okay, she is now hovering in midair. EVA report. Yeah, take that. Take the EVA report. And I think I'm right in saying she is heading up. Hooray! So we've very much had our cake and eaten it there. We've seen her journey into the depths of the mohole. I was ready to abandon her. There. But luckily, we tried to plant a flag and the game crashed. So Lisby has a second chance, all thanks to the Guardian newspaper for their help. And Lisby is officially leaving the mohole. Now, what I'd like her to do, I'd like her to land just on the rim. Ooh, pardon. And plant a flag and take a surface sample for us, if you'd be so good. So let's get her on the side of these walls. Let's get her perched on the ground. Here we are. Woof. Oof, there we go. Right, Lisby, you should be very, very grateful that the fickle finger of fate favoured you today. On any other day, you could have been left in that hole. Let's get you as close to the edge as we can. What could go wrong? Let's get you as close to the edge as we can and get a souvenir picture. Don't fall in. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. Yeah, stand up. That's it. Off you go. Let's get you to the edge. There we go. So, hang on. Let's get you facing that way. Can we do this? Woohoo! Yeah, there we go. Way! Look at that. There we go. There's your hole. There's your hole right there. And there's your Lisby perched right on the edge of it. All right, Lisby, let's get a nice picture and let's get a surface sample, shall we? Okay, here we are. And if I take a nice picture. There we go. That's quite picturesque, isn't it? There we go. Lisby and the mohole. There we are. Success. Good. Right. EVA report, please. Oh, no, you've done that. Actually, no, EVA report. Just give me an EVA report. It's very hot here. Fine. Transmit that back. Take a surface sample. Yeah, we've got that. And do you want to plant a flag? Feel that sovereignty. Here we go. Lisby's big hole. Gaping. There we go. Lisby's gaping hole. Right. Well, that's that. Lisby's all right. She's been where no Kerbal has gone before and where no Kerbal is likely to go again. Sadly, I don't think we're going to be able to go into the hole, get the data and come out again, although theoretically we could. I think you're supposed to go in there with a spaceship. I don't think you're supposed to just jump in there and hope for the best. Maybe we could. Maybe I could develop a tiny little lander that could go in there and we could investigate it properly. But for now, Lisby, we will call that mission half completed. Now, there is, of course, another problem. And that's the fact that this is what remains of our craft. Our 5 Kerbals are officially trapped on Moho. Hold tight, guys. Hold tight. We'll try and figure something out. Back at the Space Centre. Okay, let me just take my filters off again. There we go. Let's go back to daytime. Okay, we don't quite have enough science yet to research nuclear engines. Is that right? I thought we did. I'm going to just test something, if you don't mind. If I just go to Sigbro. Oh, I'm also going to take infinite propellant off because that really is quite a big cheat if I'm going to use it on spaceships. Goodbye, infinite propellant. Okay. Do we have any? Have we taken a surface sample? 300 science. Have we taken an EVA report? Yeah. Could you transmit that? No usable comms devices. Oh, I see. But if you get back into the ship, presumably you can use that as a comms device. Where's the door? Oh, the door's there. So if you board the ship and then we review the stored data and then transmit it, that's transmitting. Good. Do we have stored data in here? We have got stored data in here. And we can transmit that as well. We'll transmit that. We'll transmit that. Not enough electric charge. Oh, God. Are we at... Oh, we don't have any electric charge because our solar panels are smashed. Right.
Right.
No electrical power, you say? And we don't have any solar energy at all? No. Oh, no, we do. Hey, look, there's a solar panel here. There's 0... Oh, it's the sun is blocked by the terrain. So do we need to wait until the sun is shining on this solar panel before we can transmit our data? Okay, well, we'll have to do that. Let's advance time. Let's hope that the sun at some point shines upon this ship and gives us some power. Here it is. Brilliant. Oh, now that's looking a lot better. Okay, now we can transmit. Now we've got some power. Review stored data. Transmit that. There we go. That's transmitting. That's excellent. Okay, and what about here? Review this stored data. Transmit this science. Okay. Lovely stuff. transmit this science. That is awesome. That's lovely stuff. And I'm going to see... Do we have any stored data here? No, we don't. No, we just have that. And what do we have in the way of... I'll tell you what, I'm going to just transmit one more piece of science. You get a lot... There we go. Let's transmit this one. Okay, what I'm now hoping is when I go back to the Space Centre, are we going to have enough science, having transmitted from the surface of Moho, do we have enough science to research nuclear engines? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And that means brilliant. That's it. Great. That means we can start planning the rescue. Great. Okay, hold on, guys. We will be coming back. Right, so here's our new mission. Mission rescue everyone on Moho. So how many are there? There's 5 of them. Okay, so we're going to need to make this as light as we can. So that is a 2-ton module. So that's crew capacity 3, crew capacity 2. So that's 2 ton, that's 3.5 tons. Or I could... Did I say 3.5 tons? 2, 4, 5. Yeah. It's much of a muchness, isn't it? Okay. Rescue ship. By the way, if someone wants to give me a name for this rescue ship that's going to be getting our brave boys and girls back from Moho, then please do give me a name. Meanwhile, let's get on with this. Okay, so okay. All right. Okay, fine. So this is the capsule for all 5 of them. Are we going to worry about... I'm not going to bring any... this is not going to come back into the atmosphere at all, or rather, I'm not intending it to come back into the atmosphere. I'm going to got to try and keep this ship as light as possible, because we need everything to get this back. So I'm not going to worry too much about making sure that this can re-enter Kerbin orbit. This can re-enter the Kerbin's atmosphere. Just getting it in orbit of Kerbin, we can always then do a separate rescue mission. So here's our crew pods. Here's our autopilot. Here's our inline stabilizer. There's our autopilot. Here's our battery. With some more batteries here. We've still got that other mothership in orbit around Moho, and that's got quite a lot of fuel in it. It would be quite foolish not to take advantage of that. So I should definitely put a docking port on this, because we could always dock with that ship and then use that to give us a boost away. Yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. We'll do it that way. Okay, coupling. Let's get the docking port on top here. Fantastic. Okay. We need a communication. We need our antenna. Let's get our antenna here. We're going to need some RCS fuel. Let's put that there. We're going to need RCS control. We'll put that here. No, actually not there, because I don't want to get in the way of the... I don't want to get in the way of the doors. Okay. Lovely stuff. All right. Pod electrics, communication, all fine. Okay. By the way, a name for this ship, a name for this rescue mission, please do provide me with one. It's called being interactive. Okay. So that's that pretty much. So let's start adding engines. Now, let's go nuclear straight away. Let's not mess about with this. Let's just go liquid fuel tank. Now, nuclear engines don't... So, most fuel tanks, or most fuel tanks have been using so far, contain both liquid fuel and oxidizer, as you need oxidizer to make fire happen. Obviously, you know, your triangle of combustion: fuel, oxygen, heat. So usually you've got your liquid fuel and your oxidizer in the same fuel tank. When you're using nuclear engines, you're not using oxidizer at all. You're just using liquid fuel, which is and of itself pretty cool, because it means you get a lot more fuel, liquid fuel in your tank without having to worry about oxidizer. So already it's more fuel efficient. So let's get a nuclear engine on this. Where are my nuclear? Here it is. Lovely. A nice heavy nuclear engine. There we go. And out of the atmosphere already, just this gives us 1700 delta V. Just this one little fuel tank and this one little engine already gives us 1.7 delta V. So nuclear engines are useless in the atmosphere. They basically do nothing, but when they're in space they are awesome. So great. Okay, now what they do need is we will need to put some radiators on this, because nuclear engines get hot. So let's just get some radiator panels here. Okay, I'm going to go for a new colour for this rescue ship, I think. What colour shall we go for? Maybe a very light blue. Yeah, that's a nice friendly colour, isn't it? Let's go for that. Let's make it somewhat metallic, somewhat detailed. Yeah, that's the teal. There we go. A nice friendly teal, although that is currently Farage colours. But okay, lovely. So if we store that pattern and store that colour, we can make this a nice lovely stuff. like the shiny radiators. As I say, if anyone's watching, give me a name for this ship and I will honour your decision. Okay, so there's our nuclear ship with the radiators. Okay, so now we're going to need more than that. Now, I probably only need one engine. It's going to be slow going on the way back, but it will make life more efficient. So let's get some side coupling going on, shall we? Oh, is that too big? Oh, it's probably not too big. That's probably fine. Okay. So if we go, let's go for a nice triplicate. Okay. So if I straighten these out because they're always wonky for some bloody reason. There we go. All right, and then we can get another one of these on here. Yeah, and we could lose that, and we can lose that. Okay. So then we've got these fuel tanks here, which we can also double up. Great. And then we can asparagus these into this tank, into this central tank. So they're feeding the central tank. And that is already 7,000 Delta V already. 7,000 Delta V. That is about half of what we need already, just because of these nuclear engines. It really does. Thank you very much. KSS Fetch Quest. We'll call it 1. There we go. All right. So this is already looking awesome. What if I were to put nuclear engines on this? How much would that reduce? That would reduce it quite a bit. So let's not do that. Okay. That's lovely stuff. All right. So let's double this up again then. So let's have these tanks asparagusing into these tanks, and then we release these ones first. Yeah, there we go. So that is now giving us a Delta V of 10,000. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting somewhere. Great. So what we want to do is we want to put radiators on this, don't we? That feels about right. Okay. So there's our radiators. There's our tanks. Shall we round off? Let's make this just look a little bit prettier, shall we? Let's put those... Hang on, can we give these a nice colour? Yes, we can. Okay, let's load and load. Oh, I like the brass. I like the brass tips. Ooh, pardon. There we go. And maybe we could stick those at the bottom as well. That's nice. That's good. I like it. Okay. Now, what happens if I just double this up? I'll just do it twice, like that. And get this staged properly. So $12,000. $13,000. Wow, this is tremendous. Okay, so as it is at the moment, we activate this engine, we dump these fuel tanks, then we dump these fuel tanks, then we dump this engine, then we activate this engine, and we do exactly the same. One sec, there's someone at the door. I'll be back in 1 second. No, I won't. I think someone in my family will answer it. Even better. Is someone getting the door, or shall I? Cool. Okay. So that's all very well. How do we get this thing into space in the first place? Because these engines are all very well while we're in space, but we've got to get it up in the first place. Also, I should put some lights on it as well. Did I put solar panels on? I don't think I did put solar panels on, did I? Well, we'll need those too. Solar panels, here we are. Where can we put you then? Maybe here? If we get you rotated, could we do that? And then if we did extend these solar panels, yeah, that's looking all right. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, let's get some lights on this. Illuminator Mark IIs. There we go. You have that there. You have that there. And then you're there. And you're there. And then we get you here. And also here. Okay, that seems good. Okay, lovely stuff. Let's get this lifted up a bit higher. Okay, so now we just need to get this into space. Okay, so I guess we put a decoupler here, wallop, and now let's start using conventional fuel systems. There's Materia. There's Materia. Let's get that re-skinned. Wallop and wallop. Lovely. And then I'll save that. We'll get a nice side decoupler here. Stick that on. And then again with the asparagusing, of course, as always, you go into there and then we ditch you. Okay, 14,000 delta V. We are delta Ving the hell out of this and I like it. Okay, so we'll round you off with those as well. Excellent. Great. Hello, Jebediah Kerman, the man himself. What an honour. Hello. I hope you're doing excellent. You've caught us trying to rescue 5 scientists from... We've investigated the mohole. We've gone deep into the mohole, but they are stuck on the surface. We've only just researched nuclear engines, so we do now actually have the capability to get to Moho and back. That's the theory anyway. Let's see how it works in practice. Okay, so let's carry on decoupling. We'll get you there. Let's open up our possibilities to some larger engines. No, not quite that large yet. Should we say that one? That's it. That's a good one. And then we'll get you doing that. And then we will have, what sort of engine do we want here? Some sort of mid long distance trips in space. Okay. So if we've got you and then you there we go. So that's now 14,000. Now shall we put some more substantial rockets on the side of this? Yes, I think so. So then we go coupling. Let's stick these on. Let's correct their shitty orientation. There we go. Let's put some even bigger tanks on the side. Yeah. Why not? And they can asparagus themselves into there. They can also be made prettier. Thank you very much. And then on this, we will put some mid-stage booster engines. Yeah, here we go. Lovely. Right. And they would fire at this point, I'm guessing. Okay. That's given us 6. So we have got so much Delta V now. It is fairly ridiculous. Okay, this is over-engineered, but is there such a thing? No. Okay, now we just need to get this out of the atmosphere. So it's booster time. One more round of coupling. Not quite. Let's open this up to an even bigger tank. There we go. We'll get this looking pretty. Thank you. And now we put one of our big bastard, the biggest bastard engine we can get at the bottom of this monster of an engine. I like the sound of that. We'll get you running there. How long's that going to run for, that engine? That engine's going to run for 1 minute 17 seconds. So if I want to bolt a lot of boosters to the side of it, and I do, that's going to require... What's my biggest booster? Come on, hit me with the most powerful you've got. There we go. And then we can move those down to there. That's the biggest we've got, is it? Okay. Let's get those rounded off. Let's get them coloured in. Beautiful. And let's get them staged. So they would be staged with that, wouldn't they? Yeah. Okay, and then we would jettison those. So we would do
Well, you've asked me to do it, so I'll do it.
Okay. That could actually be it. That could be enough. 18,000 Delta V feels like it should be enough, doesn't it? Okay, so let's just move these down a bit. Not too much. Okay, let's get this all tightened up then. Let's strut this all together. So I'm just going to attach all the bits to all the other bits. Get things attached to each other and attached to the body of the ship. Okay. If we get you attached to there, that's going to be all right. Okay. Right.
Right.
Let's get some fins on here so we can steer it up into the great black yonder. There we go. Intimate massager colour. Yeah, jumping rabbit colour scheme. It's a neck massager. It's when you got a crook in your neck. It just happens to have 10 speeds and a refillable ejaculation tank full of ointment. Okay, I'll just put some more lights on now. I feel like I need more batteries. Let's get more batteries on this bloody thing, shall we? For some reason, that's just seems like the right thing to do. Okay, there we go. Lovely stuff. Okay. Is that it? Have I completed the payload? Hang on. So this is going to boost up. Oh, hang on. Do my boosters last as long? Hang on. How long do my boosters burn for? My boosters burn for 1 minute 20, and that's only 1 minute 17. Ooh, I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm just going to put more fuel on here. It is probably a colossal amount of overkill, but sod it. That's what we're here for, and we've got infinite money, so this is what happens when you don't keep a tight rein on your budget. Okay. That should be that. Have we got enough seats? Yeah, let's have a quick look, shall we? Oh, also, I do seem to have made it quite a bit more unstable. Yeah, lovely. That'll sort that out. Okay. Hang on. Let's just attach. Let's attach these engines. Sorry, let's attach these engines to that. Okay. Do we have enough seats? Excellent question. That's for 3. That's for 2. So we've got enough for 5 Kerbins here. I'm wondering, should I rethink my policy on not re-entering the atmosphere? Maybe we should get this ready for entering the atmosphere. So let's get, just in case it's possible, because I'll be cross if it's possible and I've just not done it. If I put the heat oh no, that's too big a heat shield. If I put the heat shield, parachutes, that, Ben, is a fantastically good point. Thank you. That's what I was missing. Parachutes. They do come in useful. Thank you. Let's put some parachutes on. Let's have 2 parachutes here and 2 drogue parachutes here, and they can still get in the door, can they? Yeah, probably. Okay, fine. So there's some parachutes. There's our heat sink. Okay. I'm not hugely worried about that re-entering the atmosphere because they can always get rescued. But yes, thank you, parachutes. Okay. Let's retract our solar panels then. There we go. Is this ready to launch? I think it might be. Let's have a look at our staging. We've got boosters and central engine. Then the boosters come off and we've got our central engine. Then that comes off. and we ignite these. Now, these are probably going to get ignited. Let's ignite these before we chuck that central engine off. Then we ignite these engines. And then we ignite that, etc., etc. Okay, I think this might be ready to go. There is one small issue. We need to leave the centre. And we now need to wait until Kerbin and Moho are aligned so that we can get there using the least amount of fuel. That is going to be 55 seconds. Really? Okay. I don't know if that is a massive coincidence or not. I think it is a massive coincidence. So we are literally at the perfect moment to, as of about 40 seconds time, that's going to be the perfect time to head towards Moho. Brilliant. Okay, well, no time like the present then. Where are we? 12:15. Okay, well, shall we launch this untested vehicle into the sky? Now docking. Docking's going to be tricky, isn't it? How do we dock this bloody thing? Let's get some more... Let's put a bit more fuel on it, shall we? Let's... Yeah, let's put a bit more fuel on. Yeah. Okay, cool. Should be enough. I think that's good. Shall we launch it and see? Oh, hang on. Let's put that docking port back on. Oh my God, what am I thinking? I haven't made a lander. I'll tell you exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe we launch this now and then I separately build a lander and then we dock the lander with this in orbit, because it will be a lot more efficient to do that than to get this all up in one go. Yes. Why don't I get this up in orbit and then build a little lander that can connect? Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So this is going to be a two-part assembly, I think. Okay. Let's see how this launches. Let's go. Let us go to the launch pad. Okay. I've already just thought of a problem. It will have just put a Kerbal on board, and I don't want a Kerbal on board. Well, let's see if this whole thing just collapses under its own weight on the launch pad first. We've got a whole party of Kerbins. Okay, let's revert flight back to vehicle assembly. And let's make sure there are no Kerbals on board. This is an unmanned rescue vessel. We don't have room for pilots. Okay. Save and launch. Okay. Lights on, please. Oh, it is a little bit bouncy at the top there.
Fred's got plenty. Arthur's got plenty. We've all got plenty. Plenty to go round. My wife's got what it takes.
So here we oh, it's flopping over. It's losing turgidity. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, there is a little bit of a structural problem with this ship, and I'll tell you what, that's some pretty oh, that is embarrassing. This doesn't normally happen. Must have had a bit to drink. Yeah, that's going to need a little bit. Oh, I'll tell you what though. Way up it goes. That is some crazy physics going on there. Right, that is going to need a little bit of adjustment, isn't it? I reckon it's this bit here. I reckon this might be the weak point. Right, let's just add some extra struts. We connect. Oh, this should be fairly straightforward, actually. If we connect... Hello, are you gonna... What's going on? Why is nothing working? Hang on. Hang on. God, it's hot. What's going on here? Why is it not working? Oh, is it actually just properly glitched? Hello, Toptic NMS. I hope you are very good today. I'm just fighting my way through some slightly dodgy physics. Although now I'm here. No, let's get this ship up in the sky first. Okay, good. So that's working again. Let's get my struts and connect my struts to these engines. Let's do it with symmetry this time. Thank you. We'll get them connected to those, and we'll also get these connected to there. Okay, that should be okay. If we make sure there are no Kerbals on board, okay. All right. Second attempt at wheeling it out onto the launch pad. Let's see if it can stay erect. So we'll get this up into orbit, and then I'm going to design a nice moho lander with plenty of fuel and nice wide legs, because as we've seen, landing on moho, especially at the North Pole, is not easy, and obviously our previous one was too tall. Okay, so this is now on the launch pad. It seems all right. It's probably best to launch it sooner rather than later, though. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ignition. All right, the Moho rescue ship is on its way up, and already it's in terrible trouble. It's bent horribly halfway up the middle. Yeah, that is not ideal. Weirdly, still flying. Weirdly, still technically on its way up. This needs some strengthening, doesn't it? Yeah. That's gonna make a mess. That's gonna make a mess. Yeah. When you're firing your rocket straight up, this is pretty much the one thing you don't want to happen. Okay, let's add some stability. Auto strut the top. Yeah. Let's get strutting. So I have strutted this to this, but I don't think that's quite enough. So let me get some side coupling things here. Here we go. Let's get these in triplicate. Let's get these facing inwards. Let's get some structural... Oh. Hang on. Ah, here we go. UK Space Agency on full display. Yeah. Okay, so let's get these struts here attached to here. That might help. Can they stretch further? Can they go from here to here? Yes, they can. Yes, I can still break this up, obviously. And could we then strut these together? Oh, that will help as well. That might do it. That might do it. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if that's a little bit more turgid. Auto strut. Is this... when you say auto strut, does that mean just putting on the setting that stops, just generally auto strut the command pod? What's auto strutting then? Is that a right click setting? See, I'm happy to manually strut these things. In fact, let's go now. Let's see if it... Oh, what have I just activated? Hey, look, it's doing all right. We don't need no stinking auto strut. Look at that. My supplementary wing struts seem to be keeping it fairly honest. That's okay. All right. It's wobbly, but it's going up. Thank you. It is very bendy. Should we turn off SAS? Because I think it might be all trying to auto-correct itself too much. I think I was right not to stick the landing craft on. Have I got two? I think my staging is wrong, you know. I think I've got... Sorry, I'm going to just revert it. I think I was burning the wrong engines there. It's quite difficult to tell because there are a lot of them, but I had one engine burning there that I wasn't sure about. Let's have a quick look. Oh, I thought so. Yeah. Where the hell? Oh my god. All right, so that's supposed to happen. My staging is knackered. Okay, I think that's right. So that'll be these, and then... Oh, I see. My staging is knackered. Blah. Okay. So where does this come in? Oh, that's for the... Oh, right. Oh, we'll do that much later then. And we'll do that. Okay, fine. The staging may still be knackered, but why don't we iron that out while we're flying? Okay, so we've definitely learned take off as quickly as possible before the ship starts getting any wobbly ideas, and I think putting stability on is a bad idea because it's just going to keep on correcting itself. Good night to you, that Arab man. It's all right. I think we're all right. I think we're going to thank you on my Moho mission. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers at this difficult time. Cheers. Okay, so here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Quick, before it gets bendy. There we go. That's better. That's better. Good. Straight up we go. So we're not going to try and get this at any clever angles. We're not going to try and get it orbiting. We're going to go straight up, get out of the atmosphere, and then dump the boosters and make our manoeuvres. Okay, here we go. Up into the blue yonder. not having the stability on has ironically made it a lot more stable, which is... Oh, actually, now we're losing stability. All right, now I'll put the stability on. Yeah, all right, it is listing a little bit. What I'm hoping is our upwards motion will cancel out any kind of lateral that we pick up. Okay, here we go. Well, it's off the ground, which is frankly more than I thought it would do. And it's more or less straight. But yes, we're not quite... We do still have to build and dock a lander with this big boy. Still, everything is surprisingly going okay. You can see our conventional engines are the brass engines and our nuclear engines are the teal ones. And that's where most of our Delta V is going to come from once we are out of the atmosphere. So we've got about a third of our solid fuel left and we're currently due to hit 20,000 metres. I think and I hope that our solids should take us out of the atmosphere at least. Let's hope. Okay, so we've got about a quarter of our solid fuel left. Yes, it is going to take us out of the atmosphere, so that's good news. I think. Good old more boosters. Okay, we are now heading out of the atmosphere. So anything more than this is a bonus. And there goes the solid fuel. Let's cut the engines and dump the boosters now while we're in the atmosphere. Risky. And there they go. Right, reactivate the engines. Let's try and get the hell away from them and orientate ourselves towards the east. We can kick in our new engines now. There they go. Here come the new engines. And let's get ourselves facing the east as much as we can and see how long this takes to burn. So while we've still there goes our boosters, by the way. That's our boosters scattering themselves over the good people of this planet. Okay, let's get ourselves rotated and orientated hard on the eastern orientation. Okay, so we're now attempting to reach orbit. You can see here our orbital speed is actually going down. That's not what we want. We want this going up. You can see that we've still only just... We haven't actually travelled sideways hardly at all. The space centre is still directly underneath us. Our orbit speed is creeping up, but now it's a matter of time. Can we get into a decent sideways lateral movement before we reach our apoapsis in about 2 minutes? Mind you, I'm thinking maybe the answer to that is yes. This might be working better than I expected. Okay, so we're going to dump our enormous mainsail engine very, very soon. Okay, let's dump the big engine and let's activate our new medium. There goes that enormous bugger that's got us up this far. And here we are, trying to reach a new orbit. Okay, not too bad at all, actually. Not too bad at all. Let's keep burning this until we get to where we want to be. Weirdly, our apoapsis appears to be kind of frozen in place, which is fine. It's not getting any closer, and it's not getting... Oh, it is getting slightly further away. Okay. That's pretty cool. So does that mean I'd be better off actually cutting these engines now and waiting till we're about a minute away from the apoapsis? I think that's a yes. Cut the engines now. Let's just cruise a little bit. Let's have a look at our orbit. Yeah, here we go. So you can see here we're still going up and we're still approaching our apoapsis. So when we're about a minute away, I'll just speed time up slightly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. When we're about a minute away from the apoapsis, let's hit the engines again. It will just save us a little bit of fuel. You're most efficient when you're at your apoapsis in terms of lifting up the periapsis at the opposite side of the orbit. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We do seem to be making progress. Okay. Probably a good time to deploy the solar panels. Let's extend you and extend you and extend you. Okay. So these engines are purring away nicely, and we do seem to be circularizing our orbit. Good. Yeah, here we go. Now, we don't want to be too high because we're now going to design and launch a lander, and then we can attach that. We can get that lander in orbit, and then we'll intercept this ship with the lander, and we will attach the lander to the front of this ship. Like I say, we possibly could have lifted off with the lander attached, but I'm feeling that probably would have been one weight too many. Anyway, let's again cut the power. We've nearly reached orbit, so let's just get to the apoapsis and burn it again. Like I say, conservation of fuel. There we go. Should we get 20? Let's get 20 seconds away from the apoapsis and then face it down. There we go. Reactivate the engines. There we go. And get it facing due east. There we go. All right. Oh, let's abandon those engines. Thank you for your service. And we should probably activate these ones. Oh, what have I done?
You do think, Christ, what have I done?
I do think
And
that.
I'm being honest about it. And Wes thinks the same. You think, at times, you think, Christ, what have I done?
What have I done? I
You do
activated...
think, Christ, what have
sorry.
I done? And I'm being honest about it.
Yeah, I know you are.
And Wes thinks the same. You think, at times, you think, Christ, what have I done?
You certainly do. Wise words. Okay, so we've nearly circularized this orbit, and we've got plenty of fuel in the bank. Good. Okay, so you can see here we go. Our periapsis should appear on this side of the planet any moment now. Here we go. Let's try and get this as round an orbit as possible because it will make intercepting easier. He's lacking quite a bit of oomph. It's very fuel heavy, very engine light, this craft. It doesn't have much in the way of acceleration. What I should be doing actually is transferring the fuel from this module into these side modules because I haven't connected them together and I probably should have done. So let's manually empty this module into these satellite ones and then we can dump it. We're in orbit now. This is literally just making it as circular as I can for ease of interception. That'll do. 175 apoapsis, 165 periapsis. That's fairly circular. Good. Okay, and that's as much fuel transferred as we can. Lovely. Excellent. Good. That is now in orbit. Look how nice and circular that orbit is. Lovely stuff. Great. So let's save that. And let's head back to the Space Centre because we've now got to design and build a Moho lander. So this is the lander that we're going to fly all the way to Moho and use to rescue our scientists. So what do we need? Well, we know we're going to need quite a bit more fuel than was originally expected. And nice wide legs. KSS meat relay. All right. Let's go. So we also want this to be flat. We want it to be as wide and non-top heavy as possible because it needs to land new, please. KSS meat relay. Let's get a Mark. Here you go, a Mark II, another Mark II, and a Mark I. Okay, so pretty much has to be about as tall as it's going to get. Let's get an inline stabilizer. Let's get some RCS controls. Although it doesn't seem to want to give those to me, interestingly. There we go. Let's get some RCS fuel. Now, rather than stacking on top like I have been doing, let's put this on the side like this. Okay. That's quite good. Okay. We're going to need communication. We're going to need solar panels. we're definitely going to need landing legs. Bit of a tautology there, really. Let's pull these legs out. Ooh, pardon. There we go. And let's put some feet on it. There we go. A landing strut. There we go. Right, that's looking a little bit more like it can cope with the terrain. Maybe... Can't be too careful. There we go. That's a nice wide spread of those legs. Ooh, pardon. Let's get them linked together. Okay, that's great. That's blocking the door, which I don't want to happen. Okay. Okay, and then let's get this lowered down here. Okay, that looks all right. That looks quite plausible. Lights, thank you, Space Ben. Absolutely. Let's get some illuminators pointing down, and let's get some illuminators pointing up. There we go. Right, let's keep that nice and lit. We're definitely going to need a docking port because we're going to be docking. That can go there. Oh, we're going to need an autopilot as well. Let's get the autopilot installed. I take it. Primitive one. There we go. We'll get that one. Then we'll put the thing on top of that. Okay. Do we need anything else? We don't need thermal stuff. We'll be ditching this. This is literally going to be ditched. This will just be used to land on Moho, get them, take them back to the big ship, and then we will be ditching this. I've put solar panels on. I've put a stish on. Oh, batteries. We don't have batteries. Batteries would be tremendously useful. Let's put those on. Okay, that's a lander. Oh, it needs engines. Yeah, engines tend to help, don't they? Okay, let's stick you on there, and let's get the lowest power engine we can while still legally fulfilling our obligations. Okay. And if I were to land on Moho, let's have a look at my Moho TWR. 4-minute burn. A 4-minute burn on Moho. That's not too bad, is it? And I could. $1,821. Okay. You know what? I'm going to belt and braces this. I'm just really, really worried that even that's not going to be enough. We did run out of fuel before, so... 2,714. Yeah, that'll do. That's enough. Okay, good. Right, there's our lander. I think it's too powerful. I think we've got too much fuel on board, but that's no bad thing. Okay, and we can always shift fuel around, can't we? Okay, lovely. All right, let's get this up in the sky, shall we? Let's... Let's yeah, that'll do.
But you've asked me to do it, so I'll do it.
And then we'll separate this off like that, and then we will with my main sail. Where's my big bastard engine? There we go. And then you will lift off. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll just attach some boosters. Actually, why don't I double this up? Do that. You can do that, and then I'll attach some boosters to you. And then everyone will be happy. So if I put the boosters there, put those there, and then we can have this moved down to here. That's kind of all right, isn't it? And then we burn those, and then we eject those. And is that going to get us out of the atmosphere? That is going to get us out of the atmosphere. In fact, that's more than enough. Good. Right, that is that. Let's get this all strutted away. There we go. We strut you to you and you to you. Let's get these rounded off. Lights. Oh, I'm going to need some additional lights for the front because we're going to be docking. Great. And I think oh, there was one thing I forgot, actually. I forgot my Kerbal engineering system, and I forgot that on the previous ship as well, which is frustrating. So we won't have any telemetry on the way back. We're going to have to guess it. All right, okay, fine. I knew I'd forgotten something. Okay, so let's just get this strutted nicely. That's you. Oh, hang on. That should have had some symmetry on it. That would have helped. Okay. Okay. That's the meat relay. So I think that is ready to go and dock with the main ship. So shall we take this up as well? Why not? Let's go. Do we have any? Yeah, we want to take the crew out. We don't want any crew at all. Okay, good.
But you've asked me to do it.
You have asked me to do it.
So I'll do it.
Okay, let's save and let's launch. No time like the present. I think again I've over engineered this. This just needs to get into the same orbit as the one we've just achieved and then match up with it. What I can do though, any excess fuel we do have on this, I can always just transfer it into the main ship, so it hopefully won't go to waste too much. Okay, so how high do we want this to go? Is it 160 160 kilometres up, wasn't it? So, well, no time like the present. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And here, oh, hang on, let's retract our landing legs. They look a bit better. Okay, so we are now heading up to intercept the ship we just launched. Up we go. Okay. These boosters aren't actually going to last very long at all. So I'm a little bit worried that they're not enough. Well, we can always go back and put some more on. Let's just get this bugger into space, shall we? Okay, so that's our solid boosters nearly halfway done. Yeah, this might be underpowered. I wondered if 3 boosters would be enough. Hey ho. We're committed to the bit now. There are flies on my monitor, little summer flies. Okay, so we're down to about a quarter of our solid fuel left. And we're not getting anywhere near space. I wouldn't be at all surprised if I scrub this and attach twice as many boosters. Oh well, let's see. Oh, we are now losing stability as well because this is not an aerodynamically perfect ship, as you can see. Probably should have put some fairing on, but I've put such wide legs on, I sort of doubt that the fairing would go over them. Hey ho. Brute force will shove us up there. Okay. 40,000 metres. Oh, we might just about get into space. Possibly. I don't know. Let's find out. Well, we're going to dump these boosters now. Off they come. And it is going to get us into space. Well, isn't that just fine? Well, let's get this... Oh, I didn't put any fins on. Let's get this facing sideways then, sooner rather than later. Let's get this pointing east. There we go. So yeah, our orbital speed is actually going down. So I don't think this one engine by itself is quite enough, but hey ho, we can limp into orbit just fine. The apoapsis is 1 minute 25 seconds away and falling, but it's okay. Oh, actually, is it me or are we picking up a bit of speed? I think we are picking up a bit of speed. I think we're going sideways. Okay. Our apoapsis time is still falling, but momentum is kicking in. Let's turn the lights on, shall we? We are now out of the atmosphere. We're officially out of the atmosphere. So let's activate our solar panels. Let's extend these. And we should probably look at intercepting our mothership. Okay, so this big engine, this big bastard engine is a quarter done. It's been pretty decent, actually. I know I over-engineered it, but yeah, this engine has done what it's supposed to do all by itself. Good for you. Okay. So here we are, and here's where we're going. So let's set the target onto Fetch Quest. So the yellow line is the orbit that we want. The blue line is the orbit that we have. So we're very, very slowly but surely getting there. Okay. I think the engine's about to expire. I think we're also about to circularise our orbit. In fact, we are about to do that. How exciting. Yep, there goes our engine. Okay, let's check that that's actually going to detach. Yeah, let's detach this engine. Lovely. Well, we'll call that a clean separation. Okay, time to apoapsis, 6 minutes, 16 seconds. Okay, so we've got a bit of time to actually calculate our next manoeuvre. So let's put the node here at the apoapsis, and let's try and intercept this yellow orbit here. So here we are. So we can do that. Now I'm thinking we want to take the inside lane on this. So maybe something like that. If we take the inside lane, then we should catch up with it quite nicely. So node in 5 minutes. Let's point our nose towards the node and speed up time a little so we can get there. So now we're heading towards our apoapsis and we're going to burn, but we're going to be in a tighter orbit around Kerbal than our target. And that way we should catch up to it on the inside track. Okay, ready to burn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burn. Oh, go. There we go. Oh, that is beautiful. That is properly cutting through space. There we go. So having cut the engines, we are now on this blue orbit and our target is on the lime orbit. So let's plan our next intercept manoeuvre. So we want to extend our blue orbit out to intercept the lime orbit. And that is really not too bad at all. So if I now choose... So what I'm looking at now, by the way, just to explain, you can see these orange and pink arrows here. These represent the 2 times in this predicted orbit, the 2 times I'm going to come closest to the target. So you can see here, when I'm due to be in this position in the orbit, the target will due to be there. When I'm at this position in the orbit, the target will due to be there. What we want these arrows to overlap with each other. So I'm going to move my manoeuvre node around my orbit. I'm going to wiggle it around until we get somewhere. Yeah, all right. So that's not quite going to happen. That's fine. What if we did another circuit and another one 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 and another one? No. Forget that. Forget that. Okay. Well, we've got plenty of... We've launched at quite an inconvenient time. I wonder, are we better off? Am I better off just matching this orbit now and then manually docking. Yeah, let's do that instead. Let's do that instead. Yeah. All right, let's do that. Okay. So here we go. Let's fast forward now to our next node. Here we go. And this one will put us close to our target. And then I will manually eyeball the interception. Rather than faff around with planning, let's just ride this thing. Okay. All right. Do your burn now. There we go. And cut. Okay. That's our ascending node. Okay, so we will be close to our target around about here. So let's warp here. Okay. Now, can I see our target? Where is our target? How have I lost the other ship? Where's it gone? Oh, it's right behind us. Okay. So if I faced this way, it's this way, is it? Okay. It's not, wouldn't happen to be, is it around the curve of the planet? It might be. So if I speed up time, oh, we are going to get closer to it by degrees, just by virtue of us going round and round together. So we are getting closer and closer. 1 second. Right.
Right.
So we are getting closer and closer and closer to it, almost by accident. Yes. And the next time we go round, we'll be close enough to actually dock. Okay, good. So here's our target. Here's us. Getting closer and closer. As you can see, we're on the inside track. So we are catching up. And here we go. We're reaching our closest point. Okay, and then we stop. Okay, where is it? Let's have a look. There he is. 46 kilometers away. So let's face towards our target. Let's control it from the docking port. And let's head towards our main ship. So okay. So our separation will be 43 kilometres. Let's bring that down. 41. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't have the correct setting on the nav ball. I'm an idiot. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't set the nav ball properly. Okay, fine. Let's try and get closer. So we're 45 kilometres away. I've set the nav ball to target. I had the nav ball set to completely the wrong setting there. So, well, that's less than ideal, isn't it? Okay, that's better. Are we now due? Yeah, we're now getting closer, but we are also travelling at 145 metres per second relative at 42 kilometres away, which we don't really want. So let's push my retrograde towards the anti-target. There. So what I'm doing is, here's my retrograde and here's my anti-target. I want my retrograde to overlap with my anti-target, as that means we'll be headed, we are currently on this current trajectory heading right towards it at 84 metres per second. Now, what's this telling us? It's telling us that we're going to be 18 kilometres away. So let's refine this. A lot of calculations going on here as we get closer. Maybe I should wait until we're 24 kilometres apart. Because it seems at the moment, I'm trying to eyeball this thing. But my eyeballing is not quite doing what I wanted. Okay. That's better. Now our distance is coming down. That's it. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.5, and lock. Okay, excellent. So on this trajectory, we are due to pass it by at 2 kilometres. So let's let physics take its course and face away from our target. Okay. And let's speed up time a little and watch the distance fall. So that's 30, 29, 28, 20, okay, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, let's stop. So we're 6 kilometres away from the target. Let's go back to eyeballing it. We're also travelling very, very fast. We're travelling 160 kilometres relative to the target. So let's try and slow ourselves down and get ourselves on target. Okay. So we're now heading towards the target. Hello, Almost Matt. What have you done, Almost Matt? What have I done? Was that what you were thinking when you saw I was streaming? What have I done? What have I done?
You do think, Christ, what have I done?
Got more
And I'm
ideas.
being honest about it. And Russ thinks the same. You think, at times, you think, Christ, what have I done?
I don't know if I need to make her a bit shorter. I'm being honest, Michael. I might cut out that bit in the middle. I'm not sure. I think it's a respectful tribute to her. I think it's very respectful. Maximum respect. First one's enough. Yeah, I'll give it a bit of a trim then. Right, we're 2 kilometres away and we're travelling at 70 metres per second towards them. So we are pretty much in a position now to slow ourselves to a crawl. 1.5 kilometres, okay. Yeah, I gave her a little bit of reverb as well on account of her being dead. Maximum respect, like I say. All right, 700 metres away, and I'm slowing us down. We're travelling at 47 metres per second towards the target. $300 metres away. 200 metres away. Actually, let's slow this right down. Come on, come on, come on. Full blast, full blast, full blast. There we go. Right.
Right.
Okay, let's slow their relative velocity down to nothing. There we go. 30 centimetres per second. We are now travelling towards the target. So let's face our destiny. Let's point this ship at the target. Here we go. Let's bring it all the way around. I feel like I've done this the long way round. Let's bring this all the way round. We want to face the target. So make sure that's facing that way. Get the nose pointing at the pink circle and lock. That's locked in. Okay, let's switch vessels. Let's get this vessel. Oh, where is it? There it is. Let's get this vessel pointing. Let's control it from the docking port. Oh, hang on. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, shit. What have I done? Let's control it from the docking port and aim this at the target. And they are now facing each other. Both of these ships' docking ports are now pointing at the other. So if I now switch targets, 40 metres away. Right, now what I want, this is my prograde icon. I now need to move this so that it is aligned with both my nose and the pink circle. To do that, I'm going to switch to RCS controls, which don't move the nose. This is all very Newtonian. We're not moving the nose here. We're moving the direction of the ship and the nose. So that's my prograde. That's my prograde over the pink target, and now I need to get my nose aligned. In order to dock, the nose needs to be on the target, as does the prograde. Everything needs to be pointing in the right and moving in the same direction. So I'm very gently using 2 sets of controls here. We could do with a little bit of a boost. Let's go faster. Okay. So here we go. 28 metres apart. Here we go. Oh, my nose. I'm losing control of the nose a little bit. And my prograde needs a bit of a help as well. Okay, 21 metres until we connect. Everything seems to be okay. By the way, this is really difficult what I'm doing here. I'll just point out that this takes a lot of practice. Anyway, let's put stability on. Let's activate RCS. And let's see if we can bring this in. Let's zoom in, shall we? Can we bring this in? So it's going to be some last minute deviations, and I'm going to have to... I'm just doing tiny little adjustments on our prograde now, but everything seems to be aligned. It looks like we're going to connect okay. Are we going to kiss? Oh, no, we were slightly too fast. We hit slightly too fast. Let's just... There we go. There we go. That is docked. So that is our moon. Our Moho lander has now docked with our return vessel. Great. We don't need this anymore then. We don't need this tank of fuel anymore. Let's empty this tank into this tank. Waste not, want not. So I'm now draining the contents of this tank into this tank. And then I'm going to detach this. And then we're going straight to Moho. Oh, almost, Matt. You missed Lisby, the baby murderer. She went deep into the Mohole and experienced an existential crisis. It all got a little bit 2001. She dropped right to the bottom where it just became a 2-dimensional triangle, and she fell out of existence itself. We managed to get her out. A little bit of infinite propellant, but the landing on Moho was a disaster and their ship fell over. So this is the rescue attempt to get them back. Right, so that's done. Let's ditch this tank then. Decouple. Off you go. There we go. Right. So that can now orbit Kerbin for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, we should go to Moho. So let's control it from here. Yup. We're good to go. Thanks for the previously on. There we go. It'll be on the VOD. All right, let's set our exit burn up then. So we're off to Moho again to rescue. Let's set Moho as a target and let's plan our burn. So let's get that leaving the system. We'll zoom out. We'll find the most efficient point for this to go inwards. There we go. That's it. So what I like to do is I like to sort of whiz my node around the planet, and using this method I can find the most efficient point in this orbit that will take us into the solar system. So as I've explained before, depending on which side of the planet you're blasting, you do your exit maneuver, you're either going to be thrown out into the solar system, as we would be here, or if I just swizzle it to the other side of Kerbin, the same power will take you in again. So this seems to be the sweet spot. So let's increase the power thusly. That is a lot of energy, isn't it? Let's do that. 1 second. Okay. So that'll get us with roughly the right periapsis. Okay, so as we've seen before with this bloody planet, it's going to take 2,386 metres per second of delta V to get there. It's a lot.
Pardon?
And the burn time is 33 minutes. This could be interesting. Okay. Right. What's going on with our staging? This is firing. Well, what's this then? Oh, and these are firing. Okay, these are firing and these are firing. And then we lose that, and then we have that, and then we lose those. That's not so bad. Okay. The question is, when do I want to be firing this? Whiz my node around the planet. Pardon. Okay. I'm thinking there's no time like the present. This is going to be, I tell you what, I'm going to forget that trajectory I've just planned. This is, there's too much burning and it's too specific for this to be a precision operation. So I'm going to start the burn now, and then once we're leaving the curbing system, I'll see how we're placed. But for now, let's just escape. Let's escape the clutches. Okay, are we ready to burn? I think we are. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Okay, so we are now. Goodbye, boosters. See you later. They will remain in orbit forever. We are polluting space with plenty of capitalism. That's a lot of capitalism floating in space.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Too late, mate. Too late. Too late.
Space!
Well, so you think. So you think. Quite a lot of capitalism just hanging around. Okay, so we're going nowhere particularly fast. Let's have a look, shall we? All right. So the dotted line is what we want. The teal line is what we have. And that is moving slowly. Good. Well, we can let that get on. Buffering.
You could drink your weak lemon drink now,
Yeah,
or you can
I
wait
might
until
do.
later.
I might do. Yeah, this is the problem, of course, of having ships of such enormous mass and relatively few engines. So obviously, to make a ship have better acceleration, I would say make them faster, but that's not really true. This ship is as fast as any other ship. It just takes a lot longer to get there. Obviously, the more engines you add to a ship, the better the acceleration, but obviously the more weight you are adding. Ideally, you only want one engine alive at any one time, and just have all the fuel feeding into that, because although it's going to take a long time for it to do anything, it is at least the most efficient, as the ship is as light as it could possibly be. So because obviously fuel is a massive worry going to Moho, that's why we've still got just these fairly puny engines. This one's all right. These are very feeble engines. They're only really designed to be used in a vacuum, and they're pushing all of this nuclear fuel forward. So ultimately, once we lose the brass segment of our ship, we'll be on nuclear, and then you'll see just how puny and pathetic a ship can be. So what else have I been watching then? We should have a chat. Yeah, Fallout. As I say, I really don't know how understandable the Fallout series is to people who haven't played the game. You kind of have to know who Mr. House is, don't you? We're only 3 episodes through the second series, but I'm enjoying it. But a lot of the enjoyment is kind of the anticipation of knowing where the characters are going. Like the big mystery about, is Mr. House must be dead by now. Well, we know he isn't. A lot of dialogue's kind of thrown away as an explainer, which works if you know what they're talking about. But I don't know. It's the amount of explaining I'm doing for my missus, who's gamely, she's currently. So what it is, my missus is currently making me watch The Count of Monte Cristo in French, mind you. There was one great bit in The Count of Monte Cristo that I really enjoyed. Went off it in the second. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough explaining. There's a great bit in The Count of Monte Cristo where he's pretending to be English. He's pretending to be Lord Halifax. And what's great about it, it's a French actor acting English from a French perspective. So he's a French actor acting as a Frenchman acting English, and it's very, very funny. I should try and sort of find it. I've said before, I'm fascinated by how other nations perceive the English and the English accent, and no more than seeing a Frenchman impersonate an Englishman. He's talking and eating at the same time, doing actor business, slathering butter on crumpets and stuffing it into his mouth. And any French word that's similar to an English word, he's pronouncing in the English style. And slipping in between French and English when the French gets too difficult for him. It's a really contemptuous depiction of the English, and I like it. There's a great bit just before that when they say, he's got a bad temper, or blah, 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 blah. He does have a real visceral dislike of the English, and all the French go, there's no sin in that. That's fine. He dislikes the English. Shrug. So yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying seeing how the English are perceived by the French. But apparently the series is whizzing through the book. It whizzes through his 14 years in prison. Which would have been my favourite bit, really, but that kind of gets covered very quickly. Anyway, it's on BBC. It's in French. It's quite good, but it does feel like I probably should have read the book first. Again, my missus is doing a lot of explaining of dialogue that's either being skipped over or just skipped altogether. My missus is helping by saying, well, actually, he was in prison for 14 years, and in that time he was learning how to become a count, and he was learning how to do this, and this is all kind of montaged out in the TV series. So we are helping each other. I finished watching Small Profits, which I really grew to like. after the initial whimsy nausea kind of wore off, I grew to like it. However, I was not, as always, I'm very difficult to please. I was not keen at all on the last episode. It wasn't as egregious as other series I've seen. Oh, we've run out. Hang on 1 second. These engines have just run out. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to empty this. I'm going to empty this big old nodule here, and I'm going to load it into these engines here. Okay, so let's export this fuel. So I'm just emptying this tank, and I'm emptying it into these satellite tanks, and then I will disconnect it. Is that next on my staging list? Yep, and then that. Okay, fine. Yes, Small Profits. I thought it was very clever writing. Spoilers for Small Profits if you haven't already seen it, by the way. I thought it was very interesting. Hang on, let's just dump this engine. Dump it. Off it goes. Activate that central engine and reignite. There we go. Off you go. Right, we're back in the room. Yes, he has to kill the little prophets. He had to put the chemical solution into the jars to kill them. What I liked that he wrote in the little sequence where the prophet escapes out of the jar and then attacks them with its horrible little stop frame claws. I really enjoyed the little prophet attack because the animation was beautiful, and I also thought it was a neat bit of writing for the viewer to not feel so bad when they die. Because if you're just going to have the prophets as kind of little seers floating in tanks that answer your questions, and then at the end of the series he kills them, you're going to feel bad. But by having that little sequence of the prophet getting out and scratching his throat and his eyes, I thought that was quite a neat way of making us, the viewer, fine with euthanasia. But yeah, I don't like the way it set the series up. As always, it set it up for series 2. The characters are all going off on their separate ways into series 2. And I've just got a bit of a grump about nothing ever has a bloody ending anymore. Everything... Oh, God, we've got a wobbly ship. Yeah, this ship is wobbling. Okay, we need to stop and straighten. Okay. Yeah, we do have a wobbly ship here, and it is a worry. Turn the stability off. Yeah, it's set up for Series 2, which is fine. I get the economics of making a TV series, and I think it has got a Series 2. But as before, I just wish every series, in my opinion, should have an ending that would serve as an ending. You should write an ending to, when you end your series, you should make it that if you're not going to get another series, that'll do. But I also get that if you do write a series that has a nice, neat ending where everything's wrapped up, the commissioning editors are going to go, oh, well, what's the point of a second series then? So by definition, by necessity, virtually every series finale has loads and loads and loads of dangling threads to be picked up in 18 months' time. And it just... A story's a story, A story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then if you can extend the story, great. I mean, you don't have to kill off your characters or anything. But I find it very unsatisfying. The worst one of those I've ever seen was the quite good David Mitchell, Robert Webb series Back, which had 2 series on Channel 4, and it was all right. It was the one where Robert Webb comes back and he's pretending to be... he takes over David Mitchell's life and alienates David Mitchell's friends against him, and everyone thinks he's great. And he's obviously a con man. And it was quite a good series, right up until the very last 15 minutes of the second series. Spoilers for the end of Back, by the way, but I don't think you're going to... Frankly, I'm doing you a favour. In the last 15 minutes of the second series, they killed off a character pretty much out of the blue, and then right at the end, a sister turns up. Out of nowhere, literally a woman turns up and says, "Hello, I'm here now, and I'm your long-lost sister." And then the series ended. And what's actually happened in the real world is Mitchell and Webb aren't going to make any more of that series. It's done. That's done as a series. But what you've got now, you've got this 12-episode story that does not and will never have an ending. It's just kind of stopped. You've just sort of left characters in limbo, and it's stopped there forever. Because obviously it's written for a third series in mind. The third series hasn't happened, and so that's that then. And we're all left with an unfinished story. And that's kind of the danger you have when you end these series on a cliffhanger. It's the gamble that there's going to be more, and then when there isn't more, you've just released something incomplete into the world. Anyway, that's my moan about that. Things should have an ending. Small Profits, it was all right. It kind of had an ending, I guess. They move away. Slow going, this, isn't it? This ship is taking its sweet time. How's our orbit looking? See, we haven't even cleared the moon yet. We haven't even cleared the moon. Yeah, maybe I should have put some more engines on this. I was just quite burned by by us running out of fuel when we got to Moho, but yeah, this is going to take a while. What else have I been watching? Three Body Problem. Stupid. I don't agree with it, and I don't like it. I don't like them firing their radio communication. Oh, it's got 20 megawatts of power. I don't like them firing their communication, firing their radio signals into the sun and getting a reply. The idea that any earthbound 1977 earthbound radio telescope could transmit anything into the sun and it be picked up by anything else is, you know, like I say, there's pissing in the wind, and there's directing a radio signal into the sun. It's, you know, it feels like for a series that's so that wanks itself off so comprehensively over science, it does seem to be showing the medium-sized star in our vicinity not quite enough respect. It's that thing, isn't it? When you've got a series that prides itself on being so grounded in science, and then, you know, I know that every science fiction... Who was it who said this? Was it Arthur C. Clarke? That great science fiction is... that science fiction should make sense, should make scientific sense, except for one... It might have been Isaac Asimov, except for one thing. So if you look at Star Trek, for instance, the physics and the science of Star Trek are basically sound, except for the warp drive. And even the warp drive's got some kind of sort of theoretical basis. But the warp drive is the fantasy in Star Trek. I mean, you could argue that, you know, aliens with lumpy forehead are not grounded in real science. Oh, good, we get to ditch this engine. but there's no, how do you know there aren't aliens with bumpy foreheads out there? There might be. It's the warp drive. In Doctor Who, obviously, it's the TARDIS. The science in Doctor Who is more or less, science fiction-y. But the TARDIS is the magical item. You're allowed one. So I guess by those rules, I should be all right with the three-body problem. Yeah, most aliens are human-sized humanoids. Well, also, to be fair to Star Trek, that is addressed. Is it The Chase? Is that the episode where they discover the planet of the that are our common ancestors, the humanoid planet that they disgustingly spread their DNA throughout the galaxy, and that explains why most of the sentient beings in the Star Trek galaxy are humanoids. The Romulans and the Klingons and the humans do actually share a common ancestor. It feels like one of those enormous metaphysical ideas they threw out into one episode that would have changed everything about how everyone in that galaxy perceives each other. It would have changed everything discovering that. But it was a 45-minute episode, so they discover it, go, ooh, and then it's never ever mentioned again. David Lynch returned his focus to Twin Peaks Series 2, leaving it with Coops going evil and Laura saying seen 25 years plus a load of loose ends. Then followed it 25 years later with several loose ends getting sorted. A big character somewhere else dying on screen. David Bowie played by a kettle. See, I've only watched half of Series 2. We stopped watching at what is, let's face it, would have been what is pretty much the ending. Laura's dad, Leyland Palmer, when he's the docking port putting a lot of work in. Yeah, there's going to be some metal fatigue on that docking port. I think we're looking at some microscopic cracks appearing in the fuselage. Yeah, we saw up to Leyland Palmer in the sobbing his heart out in the prison cell with the rain coming down, and Cooper doing that crazy little blessing on him as Leyland Palmer gets his mind back and realises what he's done. Sorry, spoilers for Twin Peaks, where Leyland Palmer finally gets his mind back and sobs and sobs and sobs as he realises what he's done. That was the last episode of Twin Peaks we watched. I know that Twin Peaks Series 2 then goes into a bit of a dead zone, a critical dead zone where Lynch left. But so yeah, we've got to plough our way through that. Weirdly, I have seen the last episode of Series 2 when I was at university. We had a lecture where we watched the first episode of Twin Peaks and then what was then the last episode of Twin Peaks, and then I had to write an essay comparing and contrasting the two. So I have weirdly seen the last episode of Series 2 of Twin Peaks, but as I say, I haven't watched the second half. Is this ship swimming to Moho? Yes. It is very, very slow indeed. Look, we've only just cleared the moon. Okay, lessons. What I would say is lessons have been learned. I think I've learnt the importance of putting more engines on. Oh, big news now though. We're now nuclear. This is our nuclear engine. Look impressed. We've got rid of our conventional. Woof. Yeah, there's a lot of metal fatigue. Groaning, grinding fatigue on this port. Oh God, it might actually snap in two. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to quick save because I don't fancy doing this all over again. And straighten it out. There we go. Lovely. Good old cheating. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on blasting this. Okay, what's next for our... Are we releasing these fuel tanks next? Oh. Oh, is my staging... yes, my staging is buggered. Oh, I've done it wrong. Interesting. I have... okay. I've buggered up my staging. Okay, that's fine. We can do this manually. So we want to fill... all right. Oh, my God. Okay, I have done this badly. Okay, let's get... oh, shit. Oh, bollocks. Hang on. Shite. Okay. Yeah, basically I buggered up my asparagasing. These fuel tanks are not draining in the order that they're supposed to. So I'm going to manually redistribute my fuel. So I'm going to get my central tank to import fuel from these tanks. Yeah, I've done it wrong. Oh, God, we're also way off course. Come on. Let's get this node back. Yeah, let's use some of our RCS to get us back. To get us back on course. Okay. Woof. Yes, lessons have been learned about numbers of engines. God, it's 5-2 already. Oh, we're not going to get there. We're not getting to Moho today. Oh, Eddie. I have definitely... what it is, when I play this by myself without people watching, without paid subscribers watching, I will always favour a slow, efficient craft over a fast, inefficient one. But I think in the future, we should probably play it a little bit more dangerously, because this is glacial. How are we doing? Are we even escaped? See, look, we're starting to escape the curbing system. Dear God. Man, I took my eye off the node again. Okay, I think this might be about to fly itself apart again. All right, and stop and straighten. There we go. Thank you. And re-engage. Okay. Yeah, that is one wobbly ship. Yeah, we need to turn the stability assist off, because that is... oh, there's a lot of flexing going on there. And now I'm trying to sort of counteract... I've certainly made more rigid ships than this. I mean, flexibility is all very good when you're anticipating bad weather, but that's not what we're going to encounter, is it? Okay. Oh, good. We are due out of the system. Okay. Stop the engines. And let's recalculate. Let's get rid of this node. So we are now... Well, not massive, but not a pocket rocket. Or flexibility, yeah. Right, so actually that was a... Oh, that was a disaster. That was a disaster. We've gone the wrong way. All right, fine. Terrible design for a ship. Terrible. Let's try and...
That's a disaster.
Yeah.
Should never have put me with that woman.
With that woman.
Whose idea was that?
I think it was Sue.
It was Sue, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put a new node at our... Let's get a new node here, shall we? So we want to get our inclination at the same as Moho, and we want to fire retro and intercept Moho like so. That's about right, isn't it? And then our descending node will be plus 32. 0.3. All right. Okay. So let's quick save and let's fast forward 13 days to get to our new node. Goodbye, Kerbin. Bye, Kerbin. See you later. Right. This ship has now, at least, it has left Kerbin's sphere of influence, and we are now heading out into deepish space. Here we go. Right, so here comes the ship fetch quest. It's just leaving the system now. Completely the wrong way. It's gone completely the wrong way. That's fuel burnt that we will never get back. Hey ho. But here we are in deepish space. Okay. So we're coming up to the ascending node for Moho. Let's get this pointing the right way. And let's fire those engines. All right. Now, I wonder... Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Gosh. So an exciting start of the stream with the journey into the Mohole, the landing on Moho, the journey into the Mohole, Lisby's existential crisis, her journey into the second dimension. And we constructed this ship and it's on its way. Now, do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do a bit of off-stream flying. I admit I have built this ship far too conservatively. It's too heavy a ship to be propelling with one nuclear engine. I should have tricked this out with a lot more engines than I have done. And I have regrets, and lessons have been learned in the future. I've got to burn this fuel for 40 minutes. 40 minutes of an uninterrupted burn in order to get this ship into this orbit. And I think I'm probably better off doing that off stream. So I think tomorrow, because time has flown, I think tomorrow morning, when you come back, we will be on a nice trajectory going towards Moho, and then we'll be able to do our rescue mission first thing in the morning, this ship already being there. This afternoon, I'm going to try and coax this underpowered bastard filled with fuel. I'm going to try and coax it on its way to Moho. So please do join me, do join us tomorrow morning for that fun. But for now, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to get some lunch, actually. And then while I'm eating my lunch, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to gently coax this bloody ship to its destination. There you go. There's our current orbit. Weirdly, it's not doing too badly. The light blue is where is Kerbin's journey around the sun. So we have made a little bit of progress in this time where I've been desperately filling, but according to this, we do have another 40 minutes of burn time to go. Also, I haven't researched an adequate autopilot that will keep it on track. So I do have to, and if I activate the stability mode, the whole thing's going to shake itself apart. Could have done with some testing. All right, well, this is my afternoon ahead of me, and I think I will spare you all. I think I will spare you. I'll spare you the tedium. Don't say tedium, Eddie. It implies that your stream is tedious. And it isn't, because we have a lovely time. Well, thank you very much. Slightly odd stream, that one. Nice and exciting in the morning, and then less so in the last hour. But hey, you're witnessing progress in real time. What have I done?
You do think, Christ, what have I done? And I'm being honest about it. And I think it's the same. You think, at times, Christ, what have I done?
I think she should say, and I'm being honest about it, and then say, Christ, what have I done? So, what have I done? What have I done?
You do think, Christ, what have I done? And I'm being honest about it.
Cut.
And I think it's the same. You think, at times, Christ, what have I done?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll improve that. A lovely tribute there. Brilliant. Well, thank you very, very much for joining me. Might as well raid. I mean, I'm going to be sat here steering this bloody ship for the next 40 minutes. Let's
Occasionally,
go for
I
a
dust
raid.
venture south.
Who have we got? Have we got Go-Go Borger? Mamako, Zappa Cakes. Is Yamako playing the piano, or is she doing something slightly different? La 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 la. That was an advert. Give me 1 second and we will go and raid. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of extra time while we're waiting. There we go. 39 minutes, 48 seconds left on this burn. Oh, good. She sat at her piano. Excellent. Right. Shall we have some nice, wholesome piano? Raid Mamiko piano. Enter. The raid has been created. Thank you all very, very much for joining me today. Oh, all right, fair enough. Thank you very, very much for joining me today on this bank holiday. Hydrate, for the love of God, hydrate. Make sure you have plenty of fluids inside you. Sorry, that's make sure you've got plenty of fluids inside you.
Oh, pardon? It's getting quite tiresome now.
Keep the factor 50 on and keep yourselves nice and cool. Right, time to raid Mamiko. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon, everyone. Take care and see you tomorrow, hopefully for a little bit more action, a little bit more adventure and a little bit less staring at a node for 44 minutes. Have a lovely time, everyone. I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday, here to keep you company at work. But for the have a lovely bank holiday Monday. See you later, everyone. Cheers. Oh, see, I can't wrap it up in a minute. That's the thing. I thought by making it a minute long, it would force me to be more efficient at saying goodbye, but I'm just terrible at it. Have a lovely bank holiday, everyone. See you later. Take care and goodbye. See you later. Bye.